Hello and welcome to the BYB Podcast. That stands for the Backyard Boys.
Backyard Boys!
And tonight we have a couple of special guests from the Pretty Antisocial Podcast, Haley and Jackie. Welcome, Haley and Jackie down there on the bottom. I guess you guys can probably read. Pretty Antisocial Podcast jumped on this screen on the scene very recently. You guys are doing very well over there. Enjoy watching all your stuff. How are you guys doing this evening? Welcome.
Thanks for having us. Yeah, we've been having a good time. So far, so good. Just messing around and seeing what we can get into.
What's your favorite part of it so far? Are you guys Dabbleverse related?
No, and we've been asked that a couple times. Like, are you in the Hackiverse or the Dabbleverse? We're neither. We're just observers and watchers, and it got to the point where we wanted to talk about it, so we decided to. Nobody has claimed us from either camp yet. How about that? But
yeah,
wait,
what's your favorite part,
Hackiverse?
Yeah. So I don't know where we fit in. We're just over here doing our thing.
Yeah, we just kind of stumbled into it because I knew who Nick Rekieta was from the Amber Heard and the Johnny Depp trials and stuff like that. So I knew who he was. And when the arrest happened, I was like, holy shit, what is going on? And Haley and I were already doing a show together, and we just wanted to talk about it because it was a really interesting subject, and then just got sucked into it because it's just like a telenovela.
I hear it.
Well, I'll just answer for you because you guys are now part of the Dabbleverse, whether you like to be or not. It's not really up to you guys, honestly. Not if you're covering Steel Toe, if you're covering Nick Rekieta, you're on the Nick Rekieta's on the edge of it. Steel Toe's just right there in the Dabbleverse. So if you're covering that stuff and talking about it, you are part of the Dabbleverse. So welcome to the Dabbleverse. I don't know.
Would they be considered guys too? Guys?
Thank you for having us.
Guys, yeah, we say guys because we're in the Backyard Boys Podcast. Let me catch up. Come on, we call everybody.
Plus, you have
guys.
an enormous cock. I've seen it a lot. You're welcome, Derek.
My cock? Oh, I thought you were talking about these guys.
Unfortunately, I have seen your cock too, but there is to the left of me. I've seen her cock a bunch of times. They're gals.
Enough. Cock talk. That's what we're doing here, folks.
Nice hard cock.
Yeah, we're not trying to get derailed right off the bat.
But what's a Hackiverse? I really wanted to ask that. What the fuck is that?
I mean, that more or less comes around from the Kevin Brennan Misery Loves Company podcast. So anything that kind of revolves around that orbit is more to do with the Hackverse. Like I said, anything on the Stuttering John and Shuley Network and all that stuff, that's more Dabbleverse related. So they tried to separate it, but at this point, it's all just Dabbleverse, if you ask me, because Kevin Brennan has gone full force just into all things Stuttering John, the Shuley Network, and it's all a big cluster at this point. So I don't even know why they would try to separate the verses. But I do think they're growing. Do you guys have an opinion on that, Jackie, Haley, whether or not you think the Dabbleverse is growing? It brought you two in, for example.
They called
Yeah, I
us.
think it's gonna start in a lot of people from like LawTube and stuff, I think, are gonna get a little bit more sucked into it as well, and also get audiences from the Dabbleverse too, because of just the content and everything. So I would say yes, it's expanding, because I had no idea that there was a Dabbleverse or a Hackaverse or any of that until I literally just started talking about this case and everything. So
Yeah, same. I mean, I know some people. I know some. I mean, the comedians and stuff. You know, there's some, or maybe past comedians, ex comedians, however you want to put it. But I know some of them. I know familiar faces and things like that. But yeah, I mean, I had no idea there was a whole, like he said, like an orbit around certain people. And then you get into like the lore of different people and the different fights and the different, you know, there's all this drama going on. Yeah. So we're playing catch up still, you know, we're still like, okay, hold on. How does this connect here? And how does that connect there? But yeah, I think that there'll be more audience now that, you know, the Rekieta thing really looped a lot of different people in. I think that that wouldn't have known about any of it otherwise.
right.
Fair. Stuttering John's fingernails. This is Steel Toe. This and Steel Toe are the Crippleverse, right? Because of me and crutches. I'm guessing that's what you're trying to infer by saying that. How rude of you. That's very rude.
Hey, Johnny is likable.
And then who else is likable? Granny, go ahead and finish your sentence.
No, there wasn't any more to that sentence.
Oh. I thought you were going to say maybe I'm likable. I don't know. Just food for thought.
Can we move on?
Yeah, move it. Well, I mean, actually, they kind of made an interesting point, and I do think that the law tubing stuff is going to dip into the Dabbleverse because there's so many freaking criminals. I mean, look around the Dabbleverse. There's just criminal after criminal. You got Chad Zumach, career criminal, and now we even have pedophiles that are going to be going to jail for 20 years, for God's sakes. That was the most recent one. Did you guys catch any of that from this week? I don't know if you find child porn very interesting topic, but one of the producers from the Shuley Network got convicted of child porn. He had like 6,000 images on his hard drive.
So. I did hear about it. I saw a couple clips on it, and then I saw, I guess it's Shuley's video. He had like a 6 or 7 minute video talking about it. But that was sort of my introduction to him. I'd never even seen him until I watched part of DabbleCon 2 the other day. And I've been watching that because I saw that they hit you and your channel with some mess. So I'm familiar. Yeah, I'm familiar with the story. But I don't know the guy. I saw some pictures and stuff of him with other people, you know, the other people. But yeah, that's not good. That's not good at all.
I wouldn't say it's good whatsoever, but what was weirder than the child porn stuff was that video, like you said, Shuley looked like he was in a hostage video. We don't have to watch. We watched it on Wednesday. We're not going to watch it again, but yeah, and then cries at the end of it. And it was like,
man, you need to lay up off my dad a little bit, dude. Well, you're rolling all over this motherfucker. All right, he had a very fucking volatile fucking situation go on. Fuck, man, how was he supposed to know? How the fuck was he supposed to know? And what, like 6,000 images? Like, are they Pokemon cards? Like, do they collect this shit? Like, I don't know, man. I just shank them. You know what I mean? Speaking of criminals.
Oh, you shank the pedophiles. I got it. Yeah.
No. People do in county and stuff.
Typically, I think that's in prison. That kind of shit happens for the most part.
It depends.
How many times have you been to jail, Granny?
Why? Look, man, I got 2 lawyers on here, and you're gonna fucking bring up my criminal record, dude? Let's not, okay? How many times you been to fucking jail?
A couple, but it's been a few.
All right. I've been there a few times, a couple times for extended stays as well.
But no, great segue there, Granny. I actually was very curious. That's not a word, is it? I was very curious as to, like Haley. I've heard you talk a lot about your investigative ability, or like looking into things and finding out facts, information. Are either one of you guys like legal, in the legal field, like literally in the legal field?
No, and
No.
we have to say that, when we're looking over this stuff, because it's like we're just trying to make sense of what we're seeing. I don't have any legal background at all. I'm a researcher. I look at all the things, but yeah, I mean, we have to make those statements so nobody
Where
will
did
hold us
y'all
accountable if we're wrong.
Where did y'all start like investigate? Y'all look like a ghost team to me. Like y'all been in a graveyard or two with some kind of fucking like equipment, like out there hunting.
Yeah,
Like,
of course. It's our
For
favorite
real?
thing to do on the weekends. No, I do
No, but
actually
we
have
totally
some
would.
seance stories, but I'll save them for another time.
you got sound? Wait, hold on, demons and shit, man.
Not demons, ghostly.
I don't even know this.
Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
All right, look, now I have to fucking hear about this because I can disprove ghost and Bigfoot quick.
Oh,
Okay. Well, okay. I'll tell it real quick. So I was a weird child. But when me and my friend would get home from school, one of the things that we'd do is we'd grab the newspaper, grab the obituary, go into the closet and do seances like any other normal kid would do. So we'd go in there, we'd light a candle, and we just pick something that we'd see on there and just, I don't know, start saying stuff. Well, this one time we're in there and all of a sudden ashes started falling from the ceiling of her closet. And we're like,
Damn, that
what
was
the
fucking
hell?
gypsum dust. Y'all should have got out of there immediately. That was a popcorn ceiling failing.
yeah, this
It was not a popcorn ceiling. I promise.
Asbestos.
We left there and
I'm
we blew out
itchy.
the candle and the ashes continued to fall from the ceiling. And then that's the last time I ever did anything.
Because y'all
like
read
that
fucking
because it scared the
Greta's
shit out of me.
obituary? How
No,
old was Greta?
No, but the person that we were doing the seance for actually died in a fire. So
Damn,
that
that's
freaked me the fuck
badass.
out. So yeah.
Wait, did this chick have brothers or sisters, or was this an only child that you were hanging with?
No, well, they had a younger brother, but they were still in school.
Oh, so he wasn't there like above y'all, just met. Okay. Well,
Nope.
that's interesting.
One story.
Yeah.
home.
I don't have
So,
any
like,
seance stories, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, what's up with
that leads into like I'm a very curious person and I like to learn. So when it comes to like what we're doing on our channel, all I do is I just ask questions and then I need to find the answers because I'm nosy and I need to know things. So that's how
And this
I
all
got it.
started from you trying to conjure up the recently deceased, like as if you were in Beetlejuice or something. But it was that the
Yeah.
inspiration for your
Oh, well, I wanted
curiosity? Beetlejuice.
Well, I wanted to know more, so then I started looking into like so I was really into like ghosts and all that other stuff for a long time, and then it just kind of freaked me out, and so I moved on to other things.
Damn, man,
Yeah,
that's
fair
crazy.
enough.
Did you ever go inspect the ceiling just to make sure that it was ashes and it wasn't fucking volatile?
She was a kid, Granny.
I
You thought
booked
she was
it.
going
Are
to
you
scrape
kidding
the
me?
ceiling?
I booked it home.
Oh, fuck. All right.
Yeah, she got
You
freaked
need to
out.
call yourself an investigator.
Listen, I was chicken shit. Okay, I will take full credit on that, but
And Naklu. Man, I can't even talk tonight. Naklu 2.0, member for 4 months. Thank you, sir, for being around for a long time. Woo! Everyone subbed to Pretty Antisocial. That's right. Everybody go check out their channel. I'll put up
Thank you, Netclo.
I'll put that up there
Yeah.
right now. So everybody can go check out their Twitter and their YouTube link, their ats. Go do that now or after the show, preferably after the show. Have a little patience, people. Yeah, no, I kind of figured you folks for maybe like most women are into the murder mystery stuff. They love hearing about ladies that were killed while jogging, all that creepy shit you ladies are into, like murder investigation stuff. I thought maybe that's where you guys cut your teeth, or you were actually in the law field specifically. So, yeah, are you guys into any of that stuff, like the murder investigative shows that are all over the internet now?
Yeah, we discussed that early on because you're right. I think there's a curiosity there for a lot of women, but like I like things like serial killers. I like to learn about the minds of the killers. So when I do look at that kind of stuff, I'm more curious about like what set that off, like what what happened to you for you to break like that.
So
But
you'd rather do the FBI profiler side of it, huh?
Man, I think I probably should have been in that line of work, or like
Why not?
detective work. I loved Nancy Drew and stuff growing up, and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I like mysteries. I like to know. I like to uncover the truth and see what's actually there. So just about anything that you can dig around, as far as not just murder mystery stuff, but all kinds of things. I like information, and I like to learn. That sounds so nerdy, doesn't it?
It does.
True though.
Have you ever heard of the Voynich? Listen, have you ever heard of the Voynich manuscript?
The Voynich manuscript?
Yes. The
No.
Voynich
No.
manuscript.
Sounds foreign.
Fucking YouTube that shit tonight.
Okay.
It'll send you spiraling down a little rabbit hole and being like, it's an undecipherable book written back in like the fucking 12 to 1400s. And they think that Da Vinci wrote it when he was like a kid or something. He's got a bunch of drawings and shit in different languages. It's fucking crazy.
Okay. So coding and stuff, people have tried to break it down?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Jackie took the note. I saw her. I'll get it.
Yeah, it's up on a tab right now. I already got it on my Google tabs. So
She's on
It's
it.
cool, man.
They just need to find the Rosetta Stone for that. Sounds like.
Right.
Trumpet 07, $5. Thank you, sir. Trumpet, you rock. Newbie Gals. Not only is Quadfather likable in the Dabbleverse, but Quadfather rules. I like this Trumpet 07 guy. He's pretty cool. He's very, very cool. B Smiley the third, $2. Thank you, sir. Haley knows Letitty is the goat. Who's
It's
Letitty?
true. Oh my gosh. B Smiley, I was talking to Jackie about this for the last couple of weeks, actually, about reintroducing her, I guess, or introducing her to everybody, because she's been gone for a couple of years, and her name was Leticia, but she was live streamed every day, several times a day, lived out of her car, ended up going on these dating sites, trying to get pregnant by military men. She ended up doing that. It was just this huge, long story. She was insane. But there's so much to break down about it. Actually, Adonis Paul did like 3 different documentaries on her, trying to cover it all. But I was watching it as it was happening. That's how I know B Smiley, in the chat, like watching her live streams and her freaking out. But anyway, she's insane. Go check it out. Leticia is her name. But yeah, so I don't know. Maybe we'll cover her at some point. There's just so much to cover. I don't know if it's anything anybody's interested in or not, but I am.
Yeah.
It was fun.
There's
Yeah,
like a 3-part.
I zoned right the fuck out. You said Leticia, and I was thinking.
Yeah.
no, I saw that smile on your face when she was bringing up the fact she was getting knocked up by army men. You got a big smile all of a sudden. So
No, it's because I was thinking, like, are we talking uniformed, or are we talking like civil clothes? Like, did they have to be in uniform?
No. She was homeless and was looking for a man to pay her bills. That was all that was. So she went on these dating sites and she was hooking up with these men. She ended up getting pregnant, and she tried to say the dude raped her. So then there was this huge long thing. Like, it was insane. Big Smiley knows all about it.
Man.
Yeah, it was.
You know, if she would have found Kellen Winslow Jr., dude, they could, like, it really would have been a match made in heaven.
Oh my
I don't know who
god.
that is.
Who
is that?
Ex-football player. Yeah. Raped homeless women.
It was a wild, wild story, though.
He could have wore a uniform. Don't look at me like that.
That's disgusting, dude. This dude was so like sex crazed that he would bring like a rubber fucking asshole on him, like with him when they were doing like games and shit out of state, and nobody would want a room with him because he was literally constantly jacking off.
Yeah.
He needed the rubber band we were talking about.
He needed, yeah. I was gonna say
Yes.
rubber band trick.
The Jack Band, yeah. It's high science.
Is that what they call it? Jack band?
Yeah, fucking high science. Yeah. Dude, jealous much? You can't walk around and come. I tie some shit around my fucking cockhead and my leg. I just walk around coming all day long.
Like what? Like baldos and stuff?
Oh,
How am I going to tie a baldo around my cockhead? No, it's
I
one
don't know.
rubber
I
band
figured
on
you're
the
pretty,
thigh and one on the penis, dude.
I figured you're a capable man. You might be able to figure that one out on your own. But whatever, we'll spitball it after the show. We'll figure it out. The legend, $10. Thank you, sir. If you guys like mysteries and creepy things, get a look at the creepy taping mutant with the chicken chest. Granny is up there with Bigfoot and other phenomenon. Be careful though, it bites.
Fuck him, man.
Oh, why you got to talk to our super chatters like that? You be nice
Because
to the
fuck him.
legend because he's a
He
legend.
knows, he knows I only use tape in the correct circumstances, and I don't know. I can freehand everything because I'm a fucking pro, and I'm still in the league, bitch.
Still
20
in the league,
years.
unlike him. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Wow, shots fired, folks. That's uncalled for. All right, moving right along. Ladies, is Aaron your favorite lol cow? Like out of everybody on the internet, everybody you watch, you were just talking about Latitty, but
yeah.
is Aaron specifically right now your favorite lol cow? And do you consider him a lol cow?
Yes and yes, and only second to Latitty, but that's just because Latitty is gone. But yes, he's one of the most fascinating people I've ever seen, but for all the wrong reasons. Like I've never seen anybody like this person before in my life, and it's just fascinating to watch him spin just all the time. So yeah, for me, he's definitely my favorite lolcow. I don't think he realizes he won't admit that he's a lolcow. I'm probably deep down inside he knows he is, but yeah, he's always given content, just nonstop insanity from Aaron. So for me, yeah, he's my number one right now. Jackie, is he your number one? Oh, sorry. No, fuck no.
No?
I'm glad she caught that right there at the last section.
I heard it. No. Absolutely not.
Would you?
All right.
Jackie, yeah, what's your thoughts on
I
that?
mean, I honestly, I would have to say right now, yeah, him, because I am very, very no to all of this. Like, I had to ask Haley what a lolcow was. So I'm like a neophyte when it comes to this subject. So he's the only one I know right now. Yeah.
It's all my fault. I've corrupted her.
Once we started talking about this, she looked at me, she goes, buckle up. And so I was like, all right, here we go. Let's do this.
Hell yeah.
But it's definitely very interesting to see different things go on. Like I see clips here and there, but I haven't really like delved into anybody else except for Aaron at this time. So I'm sure in a few weeks I'll be like, oh, I have a new one. So
yeah, I mean, there's plenty of them out there.
This might not surprise you both, but I've met Aaron. That's not the surprise. When he shakes hands, he shortchanges you. You know what I'm talking about? He's a short changer. Yeah, man. He fucking shortchanges the shit out of you. So, you know, I knew something was up on that handshake. You tell a lot about a man on the handshake. And when he shortchanges you, he's hiding something.
Well, why don't you guys just come out and be honest and tell them that you guys were there at Deerfest in the 9th anniversary show and tell them all about the swinging y'all did with the Biscontis and the Imholtes. Go ahead.
The only reason we fucked Gino and Kiki is because Gino wouldn't stop screaming the N-word.
Also, about 100 people got COVID.
Yeah,
probably more because some people went on a plane back home. So I'm pretty sure we all gave planefuls of people COVID. It was awesome.
So where did you meet Aaron at then, Granny? Like
Minnesota.
At the festival thing? Yeah. Oh, I mean, I know that. But like at the deer thing?
No, not at the deer thing. No, at his own fucking show. His lovely wife was there at the time too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they do it the 9th anniversary like they did the 10th? Like, did they like put on a little song and dance? And
no, people actually showed up to the 9th.
Yeah,
Like,
you could say. I mean, it was pretty
there was
packed.
more fans, and they actually had. I guess it was just like Keanu and Gino were the only difference, right?
Yeah, and dude, to tell you the truth, man, he might take credit for this. A bus of gays showed up at one point, so he was like, "Look how packed it is," and I'm not even kidding you, dude. Like a whole tribe of queers got off of a bus.
Maybe they saw you when they were driving by, and they were like, "Oh, that's the place."
Aaron gave one of them $20, dude. I saw that. Yeah.
Can you like rent a van of gays? Is that a thing where you can just like, hey,
I don't.
That's a
No, I think you have
million-dollar
to
idea,
buy
dude.
your own
Aaron might have
gays.
a hookup.
I don't think it's
Right?
Who knows?
They don't
That's
come
what the tip was
pre-stocked.
for.
You can't.
He
can't get
knew
a
right where to
pre-stocked
find
gay.
Nick. Rekieta
Maybe-
does,
maybe-
so maybe he does.
Could be.
Yeah.
Trumpet 07, $5. Ladies, Granny is also likable, but he's a little poco loco. In other words, cuckoo. Why am I a cuck? Wait.
Cuckoo.
I thought cuckoo was spelled different than that.
It is. That's
That
Spanish,
looks like-
though. That's Spanish.
I
for
think
It's
cuckoo.
not actually.
He's yelling
He's
cuck.
spelling it exactly right.
It feels like
Oh,
he's
okay.
calling me a cuck, and I don't even go there. So I don't know. I feel a little weird right now, Trump.
Two birds.
Trumpet 07. Trump. I just called him Trump for short. Actually, that's not a bad thing to go for short. All right, let's get into we have plenty of steel toe topics to talk about tonight. What do you two ladies, what do you guys think is going on with the revenge porn with Aaron? Do you have any insights into that, or do you possibly know anything that we don't know? I just had a bunch of weird questions I thought you might have answers to. But before we get into clips and whatnot, I figured I'd just throw a bunch of stuff at the wall at you. So go ahead.
That's cool.
I do apologize. You're gonna have to answer. I heard screaming, so I had
Lord.
one ear to make sure everything was okay. But
no, you're fine.
Them
I
ghosts
was
are
just
back.
Yeah, I
you.
was gonna say, he took my joke. So yeah, I don't have any information on it beyond the fact that I hope that he goes down for it, because when Keanu was first talking about it, and how it was, he had sent the message to Gino, your boy didn't do so bad or whatever. She said that there was things coming down the pike that he needed to watch out for, and that she knew there was legal trouble that had nothing to do with the HRO. So that's the only curiosity that I have right now, is like, what does she know? That, and I'm assuming that it's coming from what little bit April has talked to her, and told her recently, since they've reconnected as of late. But he was just asking, basically, what are your thoughts? Do you know anything about the revenge porn situation?
No, I don't. But I will say, there's one clip that I haven't seen out there, because I was watching it on Wednesday when Aaron was on Kino Casino real quick, and I think PPP was talking about Ralph and how he was a revenge pornographer, and Aaron's face when he said that was like, I'm being accused of that shit right now too, so I'm just not gonna say anything.
Well, that'll be interesting if he does get charged with it, since he's on this probation now. And that's all it'll take is one more hit, and he'll do a little bit of time at least.
I don't. He's going to have to violate the rules of the HRO to violate the HRO itself. I don't think he's necessarily on probation from anything else, right? He's not like in the probation system. He's just like on a probationary period from the HRO. So I don't think that anything he does outside of messing up the HRO is going to affect the HRO. Like, I think that's very specifically separate from what I understand.
You're probably right. Yeah, I don't know a lot about HROs, so I'm sure that's right.
Do you guys think that he's going to end up violating this order of protection?
Oh yeah,
100%.
For sure.
100%.
Right. Everybody we've pretty much talked to, I think, is under that impression. I do think that's what you said too, Lemmy, right? Yes, he will. Because I mean, from when he was in court, he has to be good for a year from this Tuesday hearing. Whatever date that was, the the 20th or whatever. He has to be good till the 20th of next year. That's an entire 365 days where he can't say her name. He can't bring up anything about that order. And that's a long time for him. He can't go like hours without saying something about Ashley or like that entire situation. So yes, and Peter Sky Parker, we will take a peek at that too today, where we think he may have already broken that. So the other question I had about that, do you guys know if Ashley has to be the one to go in and make a complaint about someone, about Aaron violating the HRO, or can someone from just basically the public come in with evidence that he had said something that breaks his HRO and get him in trouble? Like, can someone go in there and snitch? Because everybody and their dog is going to want to go in there and get him in trouble. He's got like a million trolls at this point. I wonder about that. If they could just go in there and be like, see this video from the Steel Toe show and get him in trouble. Do you guys
That's a really good question. I don't know, but I would assume that Ashley would have to be the one, but I'm not entirely sure, because when it comes to the HRO, it's the plaintiff of the suit is, I don't think it is actually Ashley, but the state of Minnesota. Let me look. Yeah, the plaintiff is the state of Minnesota, not Ashley. So I mean,
if somebody reports it to the state, from what I know, if somebody reports it to the state, they're liable to investigate, because a lot of times when there is a restraining order, the person goes back and the state doesn't want that person going back regardless because of the law. So they will investigate if somebody does report it, not just the plaintiff. That's what I know. Because of abuse.
You've blown me away, man. I didn't know you were Matlock style. That's amazing, buddy. Damn, look at you, no shirt and everything, and you fucking know the law like that? Really?
Fuck yeah, man. You ever been in jail? That's all you talk about.
Yes, we already said that. We already established that. We've both been in jail. Yes. How about you, ladies? How about the three? Go ahead, Haley.
I was just going to say, I do wonder how that would work out, because obviously nobody's going to be like assigned to watch him or to keep an eye on what he's saying or doing on social media, although that is strictly what it says in the HRO. But it's like, if it isn't for the public or Ashley herself, they're not going to be keeping an eye on it. So I do wonder, though, since the state took it over and it's not Ashley pressing charges specifically, who calls him out, I guess. But yeah, I don't know.
Man, he's got everybody's eye on him when it comes to social media and shit. And then people splicing together him breaking his RO and sending it to like all the law people in Minnesota. That shit's crazy.
Yeah, it was.
Oh yeah. I don't know if I'm getting this all mixed up and everything, because like with all the documents and stuff that I've read, who brought it to the state's attention that he broke the HRO to begin with?
I believe
pretty sure it was Ashley, right?
Ashley. Yeah.
Was it? Okay.
Which brings me actually to my next question. Do you guys have any insight into what possibly the March-April incident was with Ashley? Because I do believe that's where the complaint about the HRO stuff came from. I think he pissed her off and she went after him.
She's serious with a number 2. Sorry.
It said between like March 23rd to April 10th or something. There was a specific date that was in the HRO. And if it's not the clips that we have seen that were clipped up and sent to the lawyers in the courthouse and all of that, I wonder, it could have also been something in private. It could have been through a DM. It could have been through a group chat. So there's lots of stuff that we don't have eyes on that it could have happened there too. But if not, I mean, we've got when the time they were talking about the cousin, we've got, Matt seems to always be around every time, like he's getting in trouble here lately. And then there was another one early April within that time period where he alluded to her again, mother of his child, or I don't know. He didn't say her name directly, but that's part of the HRO is he's not allowed to say her name, directly or indirectly. And none of the show hosts can either. So that's why, night of, like after he got home from court, he was already hinting around at it, talking about the Constitution has been amended. And, we've got all these changes to the Constitution, if you know what I mean. And it's like, dude.
Right.
What do you think the next was? Go ahead, Derek. I know you love when I step on you.
No worries. Well, I didn't hear your question.
Well, because he had to have sent her text with the YouTube shit. He could say he was talking about somebody else. He never said her name. So I mean, you would have a hard time arguing that, right? But I do feel like he was like angrily texting, going like, "Bitch, I'll fucking headbutt you again. You don't stay the fuck out of this shit." You know what I mean? Like, you want to fuck another one? All caps, by the way.
Moody, Mahmoud Hikmet. It was the Cousin Crowder clip and also an email which went beyond just being about the kids, where he told her she's draining his accounts dry. It's in the statement of problem. All right. Maybe I never saw. Yeah, I guess we saw some of the statement of problem, but it's like a lot of that stuff in there was so damn blurry and hard to read. So it was kind of a mess.
Fucking long, man.
Yeah, and I know they went over that on Melton's show when Moody was in actually in studio that one night. They went through that stuff. All right. I just had thought maybe they were exchanging kids because I know they have to go down to like the police station and exchange the kids in the parking lot. I just figured maybe he was having a shitty day and had an issue with her and maybe just like went off on her, as people do with have kids together and that kind of stuff. So maybe he yelled at her in person with the kids present, something along those lines. That's something I just assumed happened. Maybe that's what happened, something more like that, something in person, because you would think it would be. It is kind of weird though that they do have contact and that they can talk to each other with an order of protection. That's not really common, and
right.
that's like I wouldn't expect. So like they can talk to each other and have text to each other, but for some reason they can't talk about each other like separately than that, which is kind of weird. That does seem like a high threshold for someone not to be able to like mention someone's name. So Doc's $5. Who cares about steel toe? Who gives the best helmet? Granny, Ashley, or Jackie? Let me know.
Oh.
You guys know what helmet is code for, right?
I didn't know we had World War
you do,
II.
Granny.
We didn't have World War II veterans watching the show. Who the fuck calls getting your dick sucked helmet these days?
I don't know who wants to answer this question. I definitely am not going to answer it for you.
I'm going to plead the fifth on that one.
All right.
Yeah. Haley?
I'm just leaving it hang out there. I want to see
I was honestly still thinking about the text messaging app that they have to use and how he's got to stay 5 feet away from her, even at the police station. My head is still on that. Not
so when the first HRO was actually put into place, the conditions of it is actually he had no direct or indirect contact with her. He's not supposed to have any direct or indirect contact with her at all, and that's why the meeting at the police station occurred. So now with this violation of the HRO, it's still put in place that he should have no direct or indirect contact with her and not be mentioned her at all on his shows. So
yeah. So how does that work with swapping kids though?
I don't know. He may have like contact with her new husband or something like that, and that's how they do it.
What if,
I don't know.
That might be what he was talking about being amended. Maybe.
Yeah.
whatever.
Well,
Right.
but he tries to like put it into a light like things are a win for the toe. Like the Constitution got amended and it's all fixed, and we won today in court. That's like he's trying to spin it that way, so that doesn't make much sense if it was amended. But now it's amended to the point where he can't even. Period. End of story. Can't be within 1,000 feet of her or whatever the conditions necessarily are. That's not a win for the toe. If you were to ask me, it sounds like one more mess up and he'll be 90 days in jail.
Yeah.
That's the only way I see it. I didn't like we all know the guy tries to spin everything as a win for the toe. So I guess what's new? Why wouldn't he do it with this situation also?
Could you imagine Aaron in jail for 90 days? When I think about that, so many things.
He'd lose weight. But look, I don't think that with a fucking restraining order, I don't think that legal precedents, that's probably why they have to meet at the police station. If that's true, I don't fucking know. But if they have to meet at the police station, then the RSO isn't broken with him meeting with her for the exchange of the kids. I mean, fuck, I came from divorce, but we met at a gas station in the fucking woods, man. Sometimes there was deers hanging next to the fucking gas station.
Yeah, I knew my ex-husband at the Walmart down the road.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of Jackie's point, though. She said you've already seen where it's been amended, and he can absolutely have no contact with her at this point. Isn't that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
it was in legal, in like especially that, right? Like in the exchange of children, he would have to have contact with her, unless, like you said, it was with the stepfather. But I don't think that he would have legal precedent over the kids. So with that being said, it would have to be.
No, he is a legal guardian now. Yeah, they're married.
Somebody adopted Aaron's kids. Fuck.
I mean, that's just the way it works. She remarried. They've been married for a while. He's technically a parental. Yeah, he's got some controls.
Well, fuck, I don't know much about it, really, to tell you the truth. But again, I do think they would be able to meet it under a legal stance with, I guess, the police or whatever, if that's where they fucking exchange them. I have no idea, but privately, no.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it didn't say anything in like the new paperwork that came out, so I don't know what it would be. So
yeah, we just saw the list of amendments or new things that whatever, but it didn't say specifically. None of those things changed in those mentions. I was watching a show the other day, and the folks were talking about just skipping ahead. And when Kayla got charged, Kayla Rekieta, she was charged. Her third charge was about the children, the endangerment and whatnot. And it was listed in there as physical or sexual abuse. Like, I don't know. Do you guys think that she was naked around the kids, or there was some other thing that we're not aware of specifically with those charges? Because I haven't really heard anybody say that, and I was curious if you guys had any insight into that. I could pull up that charge I was referring to.
Yeah, we had talked about that at least privately the other day, because we were looking back over the charges, and hers is such and such number 1A or something like that, and his is such and such number child endangerment 1B. So his is tied to the drug charges and the children being around the drugs, whereas hers is tied to like neglect. Although it did say / sex abuse. I did see that too, because I can remember when it first came out, people were talking about it and they were like, whoa. And Nick came on when he was able to talk, and when he finally could, or, at least to a degree, he was saying that he thought it was like a typo, some kind of a clerical error where they had typed in whatever, one digit off, or I guess A instead of B, or whatever it was. But yeah, you're right. I haven't heard anybody bring it up since then. But I don't know that I'm interested to hear that, but I have no idea.
But I also think that it's also charged, it's connected also to its mental, physical, and sexual abuses. I think it's all in that one section. So Yeah, I want to see
Yeah, because
this.
sort of the same way they do with the drug charges, where they listed off 1, 2, 3, 4. That doesn't necessarily mean it's schedule 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Right.
Yeah, and I'll read it. It's kind of blurry, but on the number 3, it says neglect or endangerment of a child / neglect. And then it says additional statute, neglect, child knowingly permit physical / sex abuse.
I have no idea.
Right.
And I'm very
So-
curious why it's not been brought up again by anybody since like the very first time this rolled out. You would think that would be one of the things that people would have zeroed in on to at least discuss. But
Right. Yeah, I mean, I hadn't really seen anyone talking about that. And I never even noticed that it said sex abuse as like a part of that, which
Yeah.
is, you wouldn't think that it is, but I have no idea. I have no frame of reference. And
I think that means it says, hold on, it says child neglect and knowingly permitted sexual abuse. So that I don't think that means Kayla or Nick or I don't think Kayla herself abused those kids, but I think that's saying that she knew that sexual abuse was happening and didn't do anything.
yeah,
that would be almost,
knowingly.
that would be equally as strange though. Like that makes me wonder if it was in the co-op or the church or like what, that one of the children, something was going on and she knew. Like, did all that come out when they separated the children and started talking to them? Like, what is that? I have no idea.
I just sent. Oh
Yeah, go ahead, Jackie.
Oh, I just sent you a link in the private chat, and it's so I was curious, so I looked up what the statute is itself, and yeah, so the first part of it of what she's
Okay.
charged with is the A1. So it's like anything like under there, and it could be either or, it could be some of it, not all of it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, okay. And included in that is it does start off by saying a legal guardian or caretaker who willfully deprives a child of necessary food, clothing, shelter, healthcare, children's age, substantially harms the physical, mental, or emotional health is guilty of neglect of a child. I just don't see where it says anything about sex stuff, and it doesn't.
And it does.
So why that was added into it is, I guess, back to the question at hand, which is kind of weird. And knowingly permitted physical sexual abuse, which I guess the speculation that I heard was possibly maybe the kids were seeing nudity of some sort, maybe April, or secondly that apparently there's a code in Minnesota where the like children of a certain age can't like have a girl and a boy sleeping in the same room. They have to have their own quarters apparently at a certain age. And possibly that they're getting in trouble for something along those lines. But very curious and curiouser because, I would be very, like, it would be nice to know the specifics of that.
Yeah.
That's an interesting take, though, brother. I liked that last one that you said about them being in the same room because they've got a couple of kids that are, a girl and a boy that are close in age. I could see them, having in one bedroom. So that's interesting. That could be it. Sorry, Jackie, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, like, Haley and I had conversations before that, since the CPS case, like that's done and apparently the kids are back home and everything's fine. Why are the child neglect charges still there? And is it because, like we said, we're not lawyers, like we're not. So, we don't know. Is it because one is more of like a civil case and one's a criminal case? So they have to like separate them out. I don't know.
Like with with the criminal case still coming up, like when you look at the charges right now, that's still on there as far as the child endangerment. So our question was like, okay, so if the CPS case is done and But I don't know that it fully is. I mean, they allowed the children to go back, but even that might be a supervisory situation where it's just temporary. But it's just interesting. Those charges are still there. It's like you would think maybe it would be dropped off, but as of right now, it's not. So,
and another good point that I've heard, I can't take this as my own point, is the fact that Nick has gone in, and apparently you could just go into like a clerk and be like, these charges are incorrect, and like have stuff taken off. It doesn't necessarily have to go through a judge to fix clerical errors. The clerks and whatnot you could just go up to the front desk and be like, yeah, this is wrong and this needs to be fixed. So the point was that he went in there to have the stuff about her bond fixed. And he easily could have had like the sex abuse thing, like what is this? Why is this on the paperwork? This needs to be taken off of there. And now that they've completely gone through the omnibus hearing, if that was incorrect, it probably would have been taken off like that. So I mean, whatever it was, it's something. Or else it would have been dropped off.
Well, I'm guessing. I had heard a wild theory very early on with that too, where somebody was like, oh, maybe that was, maybe April was hooking up with a 16-year-old. Maybe that was a thing. And that, it wasn't like I said, I don't take credit for it, but I remember hearing it and I was like, ooh, what if? Like, I don't know, but that would make sense as far as Kayla knowing that something was going on like that. That's a wild one. It's not mine.
What if one of the kids was like, yeah, I heard mom and dad and Mr. and Mrs. Imholte fucking banging in the bedroom all weekend long.
Yeah. That could easily have been it,
Right. Yeah, like I guess the children all have been interviewed separately, correct? I can't imagine that the CPS didn't sit each one of them down individually and ask them like a million questions, probably just like those kind of questions, like what kind of inappropriate stuff have you seen with the your parents and April, for example, would be a good question. I would assume that they would ask that kind of stuff. They can ask whatever the hell they want. I mean, they had control of their kids, so I doubt they left any stone unturned, right?
Yeah, I know that there was other documents that I dropped, I think, from MN Public Records. I think in the last day or two. I haven't seen all of it personally, but I've seen like tidbits from it. From I think may have been Peachy or something. Put it on our Discord, but it was of the oldest child saying that they would take responsibility and overlooking their parents to make sure that if they saw any strange behavior or things like that where they thought that they were intoxicated, that they would take care of it or something like that or report it. And I was just like, that's not cool. It's not the kid's responsibility to have to do that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, his kids can't even figure out how to make SpaghettiOs. So, I mean, come on. Like Chucky said, the kids must be retarded. Oh, I'm joking. What's wrong with the kids? What about the kids? What about the kids?
You think nowadays with DoorDash and everything too,
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
you can at least DoorDash stuff for your kids while you're locked in your bedroom.
That's true. It might not even go out there. They're out
because DoorDash will come to my house, but it's like $50 or something, and I'm not even that far from town. But they want a lot of money to come outside. Probably not.
I feel like Nick Rekieta's got DoorDash money.
Maybe not anymore.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great segue. What do you guys think about him trying to sell the $400,000 house next to the property that he's at?
If he ain't using it, I don't see why he should keep it.
Right?
Yeah, I agree.
But I mean, that's the speculation. Well, why get rid of it if you're so rich? Like, you don't need the $400,000. Why would you sell it?
Well, he still has the other thing going on with Monty too, though. I think he is expecting to lose that case, and whatever he can get, whatever Monty can, claim, he was injured by this defamation and slander and all that with what Nick has been going and doubling down on. I think there's that going on. Who knows what he's going to be paying for, what he's going through right now, depending on how long that gets drawn out. And I don't know. I think from what Aaron said, which take that with a grain of salt, I have to say that every time I say Aaron said this, but he said, that they had been renting that property out to friends and so forth and so on. Well, they've not been able to do that for several months now since April had nowhere to go and they let her shack up there. So they're losing money on it either way. So I don't know. I think there's a lot going on over there where they need the money. I think he blew through all the money that he made from, his high times at YouTube for that matter.
Yeah. Got to pay for some lawyers too, since the ones provided by the state were so shitty. He has to get new ones.
Fucking ounce of cocaine.
What he said.
24 grams of cocaine can't be cheap either. Yeah, and I feel like that's a regular. I feel like if you're buying 24 fucking grams, you're regularly buying in bulk. Right. I feel like. That's a lot. I feel like
that's just like his Monday pickup from after the weekend.
And maybe it just came to mind like, oh shit, I have 5 kids I got to put through college too. So
yeah, fair enough. Well, I mean, that kind of answers my question completely. Just the fact that you think he blew through his money. If that's the case, yeah, like because we all know he made a shitload of money doing the law tubing, but he was already somewhat wealthy, and his parents are wealthy as it is. So, cocaine cheap, but man, it did seem like he had blow through coke kind of money. So I would think an ounce of coke's not that much money if you got millions in the bank. So that's kind of what I was wondering. If you thought it was out of necessity or you just wanted to kind of offload some property. Either way, I
think it's a loss for him right now, and he's got all these different legal things going on. Who knows, and maybe he looks at this and thinks it's going to carry out, which look how long this stuff's been going on with Monograph. I mean, that's been a while now. I mean, I don't know what he's paying for that lawyer, but didn't he owe Rendeza some money too? Like 50 grand or 20 grand? Well, I don't remember how much it was, but he owes a lot of people a lot of money.
What if he's gearing up for a civil suit against Aaron? And he's trying to,
that would
rebuild the coffers.
Could be.
For when everything is done.
Yeah, because he's going to have to get lawyers on retainer, and then he's going to have to pay for hours as they come through, because obviously lawyers aren't going to just assume that he's going to pay a bill at the end of it. So they're probably going to want to collect as they do stuff. So that actually might not be a bad thought, really. He needs a slush fund for lawyers so they can go after Aaron and whoever else. But Aaron, I guess whatever. He's got a house paid for. I guess that's his asset, right?
He's got a Tahoe.
Yeah, but I think he's making payments on that one. I mean, like he has one asset. You know what I mean? Like,
well, what about the business?
The house. It's it's only worth whatever he makes every day. Like, if he burns through that money, because that's what he lives on. So I don't think he's putting money aside from what he's making on still. I can't imagine.
I think he is, because there was this court thing that popped up, and there was these 2 dudes talking about like divorce and child support and stuff like that. And one of them was like, you've got to put all your money into an LLC and then pay yourself a certain amount so they can set your child support at this certain amount. Mm-hmm. So I really do think that there is money put away in Steel Toe because he only pays himself the minimum.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and whatever's left over goes into some other account, maybe like a savings account or a
business account,
IRA or business account, some kind of who knows? It might get split up a little bit. Yeah, maybe that's why he does it in the business account, because then whatever, we can speculate all we want about where his money is. It's not good to count other people's money, but we're doing it. It's happening. All right. Well, along with selling that house, it did bring up another point. And of course, we have ladies here. So this is a question for ladies. I know you guys know all about the Summer's Eve gate.
Yes, we've seen this.
And
Yes.
Lemmy wasn't even here on Wednesday, so I couldn't even give her a bad time. It was the boys' club on Wednesday. So now that we have 3 ladies, you guys can handle this conversation. Yes, is it normal for a lady to have the summer's eve, or is that a sure sign of a condition we all know as stank puss?
I know. I hope I don't insult anybody else on the panel, but that's one of those things. Like, even as a chick, if you go in, one of your girlfriend's houses or something, you go to the bathroom and you see it. That's like, from that point forward, just to stay 5 feet away from her. You don't return. Like,
Yep.
no, there's ways. The pH balance
just
is
had
a
a-
thing. You can't do that.
Yeah. I was questioning if the Baldo was washed properly, and this is
Maybe that's
why
what
the
they
situation
used.
happened.
What if
Dirty
they use that
Baldos.
to clean the Baldo?
Yes.
What if that was Baldo soap specifically?
Mm.
You mean
Just to clean
like
it? Yeah.
like on Amazon when you buy a Baldo, they're like recommended to go with
Yes.
Yes.
Summer's Eve spa.
Yeah. I would like
calming.
to think that instead of like having this idea of, April's situation.
You don't want to think about. I mean, we've all
No.
been thinking about April's situation.
Hey, Speak for
i.e.
yourself,
pussy.
Quadfather. Yeah. Speak
Oh,
for
come on. Even
No,
you
no, no.
ladies have had thoughts, not pure thoughts, impure thoughts.
Can't say that
How about the
now.
Baldo?
You
Yeah.
can't help it with all this shit that's been coming up this year. You cannot help but think at least a little bit about April's hoo-ha.
I mean, okay.
Nothing.
Maybe a little. Just
I
like
said,
just her
listen,
wear
I
and
can't
tear.
fault her for wanting a clean coochie, like whatever. And I said this to Haley too. I was like, maybe Baldo wasn't clean. She needs a cleaner cooch. Like,
Go
whatever.
to the doctor. Go to the doctor. Eat some yogurt.
Yes.
Like take.
Yep,
some
eat some
of this.
yogurt. I swear to God, I was about to say eat some yogurt. I heard that
Okay.
shit is not good for you. Yes, it's pH balanced, but it's not going to make your pussy pH balanced. You could put some fucking pH balanced water on it, and it'll literally do
Yeah.
the same fucking thing. You're just washing your coochie with fucking money that you just threw
Yeah.
away.
It would
Now
probably be
that
better if
that
you
gave
just
an
washed it
interesting
with money.
picture. Yeah, no doubt. Might be cleaner.
Well, I don't know if they found the hundies that were in the
Yeah.
in the closet. It might have some Coke on it. It might,
There you go.
Now, there's an interesting thought.
Okay, April needs to learn to wipe front to back. Oh shit! Hey, you might be right. That
Can
She
we get a
also
fucking
needs
sound
to-
drop for that one.
Yeah, like why would you have it out anyway? Like there's a lot of things in that real estate, as far as all the images that there were 87 pictures or something. Like just run around the house real quick, put all the liquor up. But the one thing, like why would you not get it out of there? That aggravates me to no end. It's like, all right, so you use it, take it and stuff it under the mattress or something. People are going to put this up, and that there are so many eyes on this right now. How are you that stupid? But then again, I'm like, you married movies, so it's what are you gonna do?
yeah, that's some other speculation I saw that possibly they had her just walk around and take the pictures and whatever. We know April's not the smartest,
Yeah.
not the smartest one, so possibly she was just being an idiot. And I saw like they had a shower in there. It was so gross looking. I don't know if it's just stained or
That's from
they
water, man. That's from like
Hard water.
sulfur water.
Yeah, I have hot water here, or hard water here, same thing. But yeah, that one was over the top brown. It was
Yeah, it was gross. It was
That's
really
bad.
That's
gross.
easily. I have the same thing. And toilet bowl cleaner, I swear to God, that shit, you just squeeze it onto there and wait a couple fucking minutes and scrub it off. That's
Bingo.
not hard to get off.
Get a
Don't put-
sander. Replace the tile. Y'all have these two houses side by side. You've got all
Yeah,
this
yeah.
money. Like, could you rip that out?
Update
I would
something.
never, dude. I don't know that. I would be like, please don't put that on the real estate listing. Let me just close the curtain. Let me do. God, I don't know. I don't know why they. That's why it's interesting, because they're in such a rush to get it on the market right now.
Right.
Otherwise they would rip it up, fix it, and then list it on the website. But
Yeah, you're onto something there. The hurriedness that they're trying to get rid of it. Yeah, that is kind of a sign that they're short on dough. Good point. Balls deep is correct. Thank you for being a member for 5 months, sir. Hit that like button. Hit the like button.
Hit it hard.
What?
Yeah, hit it.
No, I was trying
Headbutt
to click the bean button. Damn it, that's what I was trying to say. Click that bean button, folks. All right, let's get into what Aaron thought about Stinkgate. It's just amazing to watch Aaron try to totally defame April at this point. And I guess this is another just great example of kind of how he's turned on her at this point. Because apparently he was just in love with her a few months ago, but now he loves just trashing the shit out of her. But that's not the only thing that's in this clip about the stinky pussy stuff, but it's also about the March-April incident, because that does come up in this conversation too. And I don't know, he just kind of breezes through it. But let's hear from Aaron. What do you got to say about this?
Kiwi Farms did something so mean.
Oh, yeah.
I almost don't want to repeat it.
Oh, boy.
I love how he starts that off right. I almost don't want to repeat it. Almost, but since it's so juicy and it trashes her, let's go for it, guys. Right? He's such a good
He's
guy.
the worst. He's the worst.
I don't want to do this. I have to. Oh, you twisted my arm. Let's bring it up.
Yep.
Oh, you brought it up in chat. Oh, we have to talk about it now, right?
Yep.
It was so
unless it's my domestic violence charges. Then we really come on, mods, go get them.
Yep.
And that's a totally different story.
fucking mean.
Ooh. I got to know.
So in one of the pictures,
yeah,
there is in the shower, in the cleaner shower.
Yeah.
There is a photo that shows, and we saw it yesterday. We just didn't, whatever. With some body wash. There was some shampoo.
Yeah.
And then there was a thing of Summer's Eve pH balance, feminine, basically vag wash. And
gotta keep that thing fresh.
So, which is fine. Some women use those products. They believe. Now others say that, soap and just keeping it clean is more than fine. You'll be okay. This other stuff kills good bacteria and bad bacteria. People have their discussions about it, right? On Kiwi Farms, they just took to saying that April has a stinky pussy, and they were saying it in the meanest fucking ways. Like there were a couple couple that I read where I was like, and then there were a few where I was like, guys, Jesus fucking Christ, that's enough with the world. If you're wondering what my limits are, Coke, fine. Swinging, fine. Smells,
yep.
I won't do that to people.
Gotcha.
I will not do that.
Gotcha.
No smell talk coming out of me. It's
not coming out of you.
No, that's not.
He's talking about it.
That's not what I meant.
No, it's what I said, though. It's not what you said. It's what I said.
So
in the same
no
clip,
smell
he talks about. Yeah, I was gonna say in the same clip he talks about chili cheese fries and some chick that he was did his thing with in high school, and I'm like, it was 15 seconds apart from him saying, "I'm not gonna talk about smells, guys. Come on," and then goes into graphic detail about this chick, and I'm like, what? And Matt said something really gross about it smelling like caulk or something. His chick smelled like caulk. And I was like, what am I watching? God.
What?
Well, we need to
go back and watch this.
It's so gross.
Yeah, it's amazing. It is. Whatever. He's totally going to defame her here in a second, but whatever. We'll listen in.
Atomic Ray says you cannot shampoo out chlamydia. Nobody has chlamydia. Oh, come on. See, now Kiwi Farms is doing the stinky pussy bit. They're calling her stinky fleshlight. It's so childish. Don't laugh. Don't laugh.
Why would you say it? You know who you're sitting next to.
Don't laugh at stinky fleshlight. It's just mean-spirited. It's fucking nasty.
I mean, Matt, he's a total idiot. What do you guys? I guess we're on this. He's laughing like a hyena at something not one of us is laughing at. So we didn't find it funny whatsoever. What do you guys think about Matt?
Well, that right there was a nervous laugh. That was like a tell. You know what I mean? He's like a giggly little schoolgirl or something. But Matt's just a simpleton, and I wish I could understand what he looked up to Aaron for. Like, he seems like he really idolizes Aaron, and Aaron can't do any wrong. But I don't really have a lot of thoughts about Matt. I mean, do you, Jackie? What do you think about Matt?
I think he might feel like he owes Aaron something because he's the one that got him kicked off Twitch.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's not a bad thought. I never actually considered that. Yeah, because he has a good day job and stuff. It's not like he needs a steel toe gig to survive.
Yeah. That's true.
Actually, that's a good point. Lemmy, do you have any thoughts on what Jackie said about him feeling bad about getting a steel toe kicked off of Twitch and feels like he owes him for life?
That's hard to say. I don't think so. I feel like Matt's more of a poodle. Like, come here. I need you. Come here, buddy.
Rat dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I just wanted to add that Melton owns a poodle. Are you trying to say something, Lemmy?
No, poodles are actually fucking superior dogs. They're great dogs.
But they're still dogs. Got it.
Yeah. They're incredibly loyal, territorial, friendly, good with kids. Like, poodles are fucking amazing. The American poodle, they're badass also.
It's got to be an American poodle, right? Make poodles great again, right, Lemmy?
Yep. Pure-blooded. Keep it pure.
Pure poodles.
You know what was really creepy today?
What's that?
To go on Kiwi Farms and read my name and attached to it wasn't fucking retard asshole cunt face.
Oh, that's still there.
Hey, nice to see this guy's taking responsibility. I wish Nick would take responsibility. There was a lot of this. Say what you want about that.
Retard. Thank you, Jackie. That's exactly correct. Who was saying that?
Who was saying that?
Yeah, who's saying like, oh, wow, this Aaron guy, he dresses to the nines. And he's taking responsibility, unlike that Nick Rekieta, right? When you went and looked at Kiwi Farms, isn't that what you saw all over the place there? It's like, what? Once again.
If so, he wrote it.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's like Ray DeVito with the Nate J8674. Exactly. Making his own comments.
Mm-hmm.
This is another steel toe fantasy moment. We've seen plenty of them, but here's another example of it. That's exactly what I said when I watched it, Jackie. I was like, what? Nobody's saying that. What are you talking about? Not one.
Rekieta-Imholte, but at least he's taking responsibility, learning from his mistakes, and moving on with his life. Dustin with $4.99 says, Aaron, isn't it a little embarrassing to go through all this court shit only because you don't know how to shut up about your personal life? It wasn't about, no, that's not what it was about. It was about being a fucking dick is what it was being about. It was being a...
So, okay, that's what I don't understand is because this statement, he says, no, it has nothing to do with the comments. And he's trying to pretty much say that it had nothing to do. I mean, isn't that what it sounds like when he says that?
Yeah.
That it had nothing to do with the statements that were made on the podcast. Is pretty much, which we all know is bullshit because it's
right.
Like the violation is littered with the stuff that he said on the podcast. So it's like the entire reason that it got re-looked at. From what
it literally says in the HRO that he cannot say anything about her on his blogcast, as they said in the actual paperwork. He can't say anything about her on the blogcast.
He can't even allude to her.
Right.
Yeah, he can't even allude. Yes, 100%.
You mean he can't come up with an entire code system to talk shit about her? Like, my cousin, that cunt. My cousin.
He's going to amend the Constitution, as it were.
Right. No, so let's hear that again, just so we can very specifically parse apart what he's trying to say there and say, once again, you're lying to us, Aaron, just like you were just lying to us about what's being said about you on Kiwi Farms. One right after the other. Lie. Go ahead, buddy.
Only because you don't know how to shut up about your personal life. It wasn't about, no, that's not what it was about. It was about being a fucking dick is what it was being about. It was being a fucking dickbag cunt face. And I had to pay the price for that. And go through all this court shit. I went to court one time for an hour or so. You know, cost of doing business when you admit you did wrong. See, Dustin, the problem is you're not going to get me to feel like,
no, okay, let's not just allow him to try to fucking spin this stuff, because we heard what we wanted to hear in that statement. Very obvious that he just lied. There's no doubt about it. And I don't understand. Like, I went in and I admitted what I did, and what the world's better for. What are you talking about, dude?
It's just
He's
more
his own
jabs at
hero.
Nick. Yeah, I just think
Yeah.
he's just continuously trying to bait Nick into saying something and hoping that he'll slip up. It's just another jab at him, I think. I mean, like, I came out and I'm guilty for all the things, and I've repented, and I just don't know why Nick can't do that. He's
Right.
still on about that.
Right. Yeah, I gotta go answer the door. I'm just gonna go ahead and play this one out for the rest. Let me.
like shitty or forlorn about this
okay.
situation because I know I
assumed
deserve
that,
it.
Dogs were gonna freak out, but apparently they're behaving themselves, so I don't have to go get the door.
Okay.
Good dogs.
I know I needed to do it to atone for it, and that's what today was.
Gotcha.
And it was
Yeah, I mean, court is very much like going to church and a confessional, don't you know? I had to atone for my sins, and then the pastor forgave me. I mean, the judge, and then they said, "Okay, everybody, happy times again. Go have fun." No, they re-amended it so that you can have less contact with your ex-wife because she doesn't want to deal with you anymore. And in fact, yeah, they rewrote it against you. So not a win for the toe. Sorry, pal. He did say something in there though. I was a dick, or I was a cunt-faced jerk face, whatever he said there. But he made it sound like there was one very specific incident, and I don't think that it has anything to do with an email or a text. I think it's an in-person like flip out or something. Like, I'm convinced of that, and I guess someday we'll find out. But that's why I was so curious about what you guys thought the March-April incident was, because even he says it like as an incident in March or April.
No, I agree
Right.
with you. I've been thinking about that, and I told Jackie the same thing. Like, this has got to be something that happened in private. And my first thought was like email or text or something like that, because when this was filed versus, I guess when it was filed with him to go to court over it. What were the dates, Jackie? It was like January something was when this was first written up, and then
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It was early January. I don't know the exact date, but I think it was like within the first few days of January.
And then again in June. So I'm just saying there would have been some time there where maybe, we weren't privy to it, but it makes more sense really that it was something that happened. Or maybe even like third party or something that we don't know about. Who knows? But yeah, in private.
What do you mean by like third party? You mean like he went through someone to torment Ashley?
I mean,
used a consigliere to go talk to her.
maybe. I think whatever it is, it's something that we weren't, the public wasn't privy to. I will agree to that. And if it's something in person, that'd be even more wild. But
Do you remember what he said the claim was? Why it was violated?
Who you asking? The ladies?
Yeah, the ladies, not you, fuckface. Yeah. No, he did say why the RSO was violated was because of shit him and April said in that timeline. I don't know
And
if
right
y'all
here, he's saying that has nothing to do with what he said at all. It has it was another thing. So
it had to be private messages, right? Like it couldn't have been anything public, because I do remember him like replaying it or whatever, and he really wasn't fucking he didn't say a name, but I guess you could allude to the fact that he was talking about his ex.
Yeah, it's definitely sort of a roundabout way, but I think it's got to be something that we didn't see, something that we're not privy to that happened behind the scenes. But I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, and then I mean, obviously he's completely lying all the time. So, like when he said that all that stuff that was said on the podcast had nothing to do with it, when we know, as a matter of fact, that it did have a part to play with it. So that's nonsense.
Wait, hold on, Derek. He says he tells the truth all the fucking time.
We know that. We know.
Yeah.
Went exactly how it was supposed to. Thank you for the $5. Handheld aluminum shower head nozzle cleaner flushing cleansing system. It's a fucking douche faucet.
Yeah.
He's like a 10-year-old little boy.
Now,
I would like
Granny, just out of curiosity, you probably have that exact model shower head, correct?
No, I didn't have the fucking Pussy Beater 5000. No, of course not, dude.
He only has the 3000.
No, I don't have the 3000. No, it's a
couldn't
standard
handle the 5,000. Boom, got him.
No, bro, I want to shove my substandard Irish Pecker into Lemmy sometimes, so I don't buy fucking expensive shit.
How romantic! God, you're such a romantic.
It's true.
Whatever, man.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. And with that said, man, I did want to say this. I know that I'm fucking a broken record because the second night in a row that I'm saying this. Matt fucking sucks. Matt's a nice guy in public, but god damn, this motherfucker sucks on the air.
He does.
Terribly.
I even got these nice ladies to say that. So if nice ladies say that about Matt, that's a fact, Jack. He is subpar.
What do we got here on the screen here?
The dildo, the shower head. Is that what you're talking about?
Could you scroll down to the price?
Oh, yeah. All right, she's done with
there
the
might be a
small talk.
coupon for it.
She wants to get to the real deal. Where is
Get
the
a
price
Groupon.
tag? Oh, there you go. $15.99 cleansing
No,
system.
Damn, that's
man,
not too bad. $15.99, less than $20 fucking dollars. Are you kidding?
Yeah. 5 holes.
5 holes.
It's 5 holes.
Woo!
5 holes.
4 inches, 5 holes.
4.72 inches. Can you handle that, Granny?
No, dude, that shit'll work both of us out of the goddamn game, dude. You never buy a fucking shower head like that. Make sure it's rusted and only squirts one fucking stream.
Maybe we should get one for April. She wouldn't have to.
Yes. Thank you. This is how we got here. We figured it out.
It's hilarious.
Wait, is that one shaped like a dick?
Yeah,
no,
it's
you're just catching on what we're talking about here.
Wow,
what's
dude.
happening? Son of a bitch.
Welcome to the conversation, Granny.
Welcome to Earth.
I didn't know that fucking ladies
Third
enjoyed
planet from
cream
the sun,
pies
buddy.
at a certain PSI. Let me get my fucking PSI on my cream pies up, dude. Jesus Christ, you're gonna shove that in
It's
you?
just water. You're made of 80% water, so why not add a little more in you, buddy?
Women are actually made of like more water than men. Men are less water than women.
Wow. And this became sexist. Thanks, Lemmy.
How's that sexist? How is having more water in your body, like as your body, a good or
less
bad
of you
thing?
has to swim? Y'all should be beating the dudes in fucking swimming competitions, shouldn't you?
You are retarded.
I know.
Is that what they mean by waterworks? Is that why ladies are into the waterworks stuff?
To quote Tom Green, if 80% of me's water, only 20% has to swim.
Fair enough. I like that.
Oh boy, guys! No, there is no proof that
Did you just add that to your cart?
There is no proof that anyone has a stinky pussy. Stop it. 383 Novocaine with $2 says, Aaron, now you know where the fly problem was. Oh, that's disgusting. Can we not make stinky pussy jokes? Please.
I mean, we could, but it's
dude, it was pH balanced pussy soap, says Sam Show. You don't just grab that shit off the shelf. I figured you guys would be interested in the pussy soap. McBuster says April's beaver smells like a mackerel cannery. Jesus Christ.
You ever We don't have to spend all day listening to Aaron bash his ex. And that's the only reason I can think of why he went into that so hard. I guess he would do it right to her face if she was there because he didn't really give a shit about her at all. It seemed like even back in the day. So I guess nothing really has changed, has it?
I'm going to go. Listen. I'm going to go ahead and defend Aaron Imholte in this situation because I feel like anyone would make fun of the fact that there was Summer's Eve wash in anyone's shower. So honestly, I think he was reserved. If I'm going to be real.
Jackie ever rooted around in there and fucking cleaned her out with some, nice dryer sheet smelling fucking douche nozzle?
I agree anybody would make fun of it. But I mean, he got cooked. So of course you have to, because like Quadfather was saying, everybody's thinking about April's situation. He's got to make fun of it,
All of her situations.
All the situations. Yep. Every one of them.
Oh God. We're horrible. I guess what Granny is saying, now that we're acquainted, can't we just ask you all about your personal stuff? Jesus, Granny. Hold off a little bit, buddy. You're going a little far. Like, we just met. Like, you ain't got to be like throwing out questions like that. Jesus, man.
Hey, you scared him away.
Buy me a few drinks first. God.
Right. Be a gentleman.
To answer that question, you're not supposed to stick anything scented up there or on there. Yeah. You know what I mean? Don't do that.
Yep. Yeah.
All right. So, of course, we've all seen the famous, he shows it here in a second anyway in this clip we're going to show, which is him checking out the picture of Ethan Ralph and the Reketas when they went out to lunch together. And, of course, if you were to ask me, let's just go ahead. I'll break down the picture and see what I see. But I saw a very healthy, good-looking April. And she did have a mini skirt on, and she does seem to be airing some stuff out. So maybe the Summer's Eve, maybe that's not too far from the truth. The only question I really had was, is she wearing panties or not? Granny, thoughts? April, wears panties in a mini skirt or not?
No, I feel, look, all right. My theory on this is
we know you don't wear undies, by the way. We don't even have to ask. Go ahead.
It's not true.
What's your theory?
It's not true. He only walks around in his undies. That's like the
only I usually only am in boxers or boxer briefs. Well, yeah, man, it's called work, something you can't stand up to do. But what I would say is that I
doing
think
this podcast is work with you, buddy.
Fuck.
Go ahead.
Well, I think she started douching at a young age, which makes your pussy smell like even worse, right? Like it's kind of like the
no. Hold on, you can't just say that flat out because I've never actually picked up a container of Summer's Eve and sniffed it. So how do you know what it smells like, Granny? First off,
I'm not going to allude to that fact, but it's like shaving, man. The more that you douche your pussy, the worse it smells when it's undouched.
I can't believe you're talking about Aaron like that.
Right? Savage.
I'll say this right now. I don't think I could beat Aaron in a fight. He's he's a bigger guy than me. He boxes or whatever, but
come on.
I don't know.
Fluffy. He's like gummy. I could beat Aaron in a fight.
Did you guys see that night where he went to the boxing ring thing the last night?
Yes.
When he boxed his friend, all I could see was his tits jiggling inside his shirt. I was like,
that's what I mean. God. He's just gummy.
You're wanting me to jump ahead in my notes and pull up other links than I have pulled up. But we can do that, Lemmy. That's fine. We'll check out because my lost interest actually made a clip of that. And whatever. How come Aaron Imholte streams, but he doesn't know that you have to turn your fucking phone sideways before you hit record? Jesus, like my lost interest had to rotate his video. I'm sure of it. It's such an idiot move. All right, we actually do have that right here. Let's check
He's
it
a
out.
pro broadcaster, remember?
He's a
It
radio
is
guy.
bad.
Mhm.
Oh, he's a radio guy. But even when he was on 101 Retard, sorry. Even when he was on there, they were still recording like video pretty much most of the time. Shout out to My Lost Interest. By the way, another good egg. And thank you to all of our Clippers. We love all of our Clippers. Ladies, you could give a shout out to the Clippers and say, screw all the people trying to take down the Clippers.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
we
screw
we
it.
went on a big rant about that a couple of times, actually. We love all the
Nice.
Clippers, our Dooms and our
Mhm.
illicit clips and our Citizen M's and our Nat Clothes and our My Lost Interest and who I've forgotten.
See,
All
I
of them.
knew I would like you,
19
ladies.
Yeah.
Sotero Joe Burrow.
Exactly.
Yes,
We
thank
actually
you. Sotero Joe Burrow. I know there's a
We
couple
got-
I'm forgetting.
we
I
got
don't
a Sotero.
dislike Citizen M. I just think he's a bitchy queen.
Yep, Stalin 19.
Yes, Stalin 19 is a good one.
Citizen M is his own man, and yeah, I don't know.
Fucking
You guys
bitch.
just
I don't give a fuck if he bitches or whatever. He just seems gay about it a little bit.
Quad,
a
read
little
that.
gay
real quick.
about it. Chris Mack, I got banned from Reddit for saying Brendan Schaub's wife looks like as if her pussy smells like the hold of a slave ship.
Damn.
Oh my gosh.
Fuck.
Now
Wow.
that
That's
conjures up some smells or thoughts. about
Onions
smell.
and shame, dude.
Shame.
Probably
Yeah,
shit.
shame. Shame's actually a good scent.
Yeah, you can
Unlike
smell it.
Summer's Eve, right, Granny? That you have sniffed, apparently. All right, let's watch Aaron Imholte and his pathetic sparring moves. As we know, he's an 0-2 boxer in the state of Minnesota. He has an official record. It's just not a good one. Let's see why that might be. Let's watch some sparring.
10 minutes each group for sparring.
I just want to make sure it's going to be.
I got my water this time. I'm not playing around.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
All right, we're going to miss a little bit of the ring. But tonight is sparring night. A lot of people are just learning, so we're going to take it at their speed. No Ralph.
Hey,
Piggy didn't show. Enjoy. Some of the ring's going to be
Derek.
cut off.
I know this is.
What would you take a monster hit of weed and then say my name? What's going on
I
here?
did, yeah. I did. I wanted to get to something real quick. I'm interrupting you really to do so. Shame is the name of Granny's clone. Actually, you're right, dude. There is a
I was just
clone, and I
typing that.
believe a fucking, candle called Granny Shame that you can get. So, Quad, go ahead. Sorry.
Fair enough.
We'll figure this out for next time.
All right, get in the ring, you big fatty.
Is he fighting a woman?
Nah, he's a bigger dude.
Right. And I think
yeah,
that's
I'll
a
give it to
young boy from what I can tell. Trying to mix it up with a man. A weak, pathetic loser of a man, but still a man.
Why
He
wouldn't
says
they
he gets
pair,
paid for the.
Why wouldn't
Oh,
they
go ahead,
pair the shorter kid off with somebody that's got like a shorter reach? Like Aaron may be floppy and all that, but he's got a much larger or longer reach. Than
Like
this
half
little
of his,
kid.
half of this guy's body, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
It just doesn't seem very.
No. I kind of have an answer to that because I have
Yeah.
some knowledge of boxing where they pretty much match everybody up against everybody because you never know what kind of skill you need if you're going to fight tall people, short people,
Okay.
etc. So,
And also
do
that
actually do that.
I have to give Aaron a little bit of credit. He does have his hands up and what he's going to let the kid throw at him, basically. So why they did this was Aaron's fucking 3 times his kid's size. So he's just going to be eating punches and telling him where he should be throwing in a different direction. And in Aaron's words, he says he gets fucking paid for this. So
back to Lemmy's
oath.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was gonna say. Is not only did Lemmy point out the fact that the boobies are bouncing, but also he does not come off athletic. Like he just kind of fumbles and bumbles around. He has horrible footwork. It all just seems very awkward when he does anything. And I've seen his 2 fights that he lost. I've seen him spar before. He has really shitty, sloppy footwork, and he's very slow, just lumbering.
yeah, but he can train fucking 120-pound kids. Basically, all you do.
Well,
you.
dude, he's a slow target. He would be perfect for kids who are just starting out in boxing because he's
My granny.
not quick enough. You know what I mean?
That's true.
He's essentially a punching bag who just like moves a little bit. You know what I mean?
Doesn't mean you can't look athletic while you're doing it, though.
He's
It'd
not.
be about the same. It'd be about the same thing as holding like one of those body, whatever they called it. That the one night he was like, "Yeah, go get that live doll or whatever. Hang that from the ceiling." It'd be about the same thing.
And also, if you're going into boxing training, you do need to learn how to get hit in the face and take it. And so every now and then, I bet he does give him a swipe.
That's the only thing you learned about boxing, isn't it, Granny?
What's that?
Getting hit in the face and learning how to get hit in the face and take it.
Well, I mean, it turns out boxing is damn near almost hitting everybody in the face all the time. So yeah,
damn near. Damn near, that's what it is. Almost the entire time, right, Granny?
Almost the entire fucking time.
Yeah. Okay. The only other thought I had though is like, you'll see how not athletic, and you could just kind of be like lazy and stumble around a ring and not use very much energy. And I almost think like the way he talks about boxing is like, oh man, I'm so wore out from all that hard work. Now, like if you watch this, you'll be like, what? You just kind of like fumbled around the ring. You didn't really do much. So, yeah, like if you're not losing a bunch of weight and stuff from going boxing, you'll see why. Because it doesn't take very much cardio to do it. There's not much to it, especially when you move your feet around like this guy does.
No, fuck you, man. I was just in a boxing match like a year ago.
But you were actually moving around. You were even running away from the guy, if you wanted to say. So you got a lot of cardio in because you were running around so much and falling down on the ground after you got hit so much. Yeah, not a fucking thing to say about it either. That's right.
Yeah, because the only thing this comes back to is your cripple.
No, I gotta. Come on.
What do you know about fucking cardio, dude?
I mean, my battery wears down pretty quickly when I go on walks, so I understand how cardio works.
You start breathing hard.
That's what you want to do against the Orthodox fight.
Oh, it is a girl. It actually is a girl. Who said it was a girl? Who called it?
I did.
You called it. Damn, I didn't even notice that. That's hilarious. I just thought it was some little dude. It's actually a girl. That's hilarious. Jesus, why did they even take a swing at her then in that case? Jesus. That just popped in my head. I have to say that it's a short, tiny, little blonde girl. Oh, snap. I wonder if she's 18.
Boy.
Is she of age? Because she's in deep shit hanging out with that stud. Boy, oh boy. I'm going to eat my words now, right?
He's got a thing for short blonde girls and beating them up, apparently.
Beating them up. Damn. Yeah. Haley, shots fired. I love it.
Hey.
You got him. You got him, Haley. Son of a bitch. This chick better watch out for headbutting, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, maybe some choking,
some bear hugs.
Choking. Mm-hmm. You just got to find the right girl that likes to be choked, you know?
He just hasn't found that one just yet, I guess.
He's got to have a better picker. Because
I'm the headbutting guy.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I love that show.
It's so strange though, actually seeing him out in the wild and not behind a desk, because you think he's shorter than he actually is.
He only seems small because you watch him on the Steel Toe show. And it makes him
Yeah.
look small because he's such a small man when it comes to that thing. But other than that, yeah, he's a tall, big dude. His arms, whatever, his arms are just flabby and long and skinny. So it's not like it doesn't look like he's done a push-up one time in his life, from what I can
Right.
tell. I mean, I got bigger guns than him, and my arms don't even work. What the hell's up with that?
Well, there you go. Yeah, he's floppy.
Right.
Yeah, he's up. Yeah. Just gotta get our feet planted on that hook. Yeah.
Yeah, she's got a braid, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
I hope she's of age for the things I'm about to say, but I mean, is this the next slam piece? I mean, what are we looking at here? I mean, she boxes, so she can already take a punch, right, ladies? Right?
That's his type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
She goes.
All right. Please, God, be over 18. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
My question is,
Yeah,
why is he
that was
filming this for himself? Or
I
did he
mean,
put
there was-
this up online? Like,
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. This is like a live stream, isn't it?
He said something about like since Ethan didn't show up the night before and he put on all his gear and stuff that he wanted to show people like what he could do or something. He had a little statement right before I guess this part, but because I saw a clip earlier this morning at some point and he was like, "Yeah, y'all didn't really get to see what I had going on last night, but I thought I'd give you a little inside look into how I handle the ring."
Yeah. And I
so
didn't
your
actually.
first instinct
Oh wait, hold
is
on.
to
He's
put
fighting with a
video.
man now.
Yeah. Yeah, this is what I remembered. I didn't even catch that the first thing was a girl. You got me
why
there,
didn't
Jackie.
Yeah, why didn't he edit the girl out? Like, just play this part. It's like you're trying to flex and stuff like that. For like, your first thing is up there is like, hey, look, I'm fighting a girl. Like,
Don't worry about all those,
not a good look.
the domestic violence allegations.
Yeah.
Between this stuff and like I'm the headbutting guy and then like beating up on a little blonde chick that's in high school or college or something. Like it's not like have some, I don't know, man. The ops on that
Yeah.
are horrible.
He's not good with optics, as we've learned over time. He's not the king of optics.
No.
Maybe he is truly a radio guy.
Right.
I mean, yeah, there's no better way to prove that you don't hit women by going into a boxing ring and then hitting a woman, right? Like,
Right.
that's numero uno
Not the
way.
optics that you want to put out there.
Yeah, well, he's not going to be running for any government anytime soon, so I think we're good on that. All right, going backwards now. Thank you, Lemmy, for the side tangent. We can get in. I didn't want to show. I already showed on Wednesday all the stuff with Ethan Ralph and his past of getting his ass whooped like in Portugal, and they did have Aaron on Kino Casino. I don't know if you guys saw that, and they were talking about the fight the day that he was actually supposed to fight him. That was interesting, but I don't think it was very interesting watching him at the gym waiting for Ethan Ralph to show up, and he never shows up.
Yeah,
And
that was hilarious.
yeah,
I'm
but
so
it's
glad that that's part of the canon now. That was
yes,
so cringe.
it's
I
so
loved it.
bad.
It was good. It was good.
It's like he seemed kind of worried about it on his show. Then he seemed kind of worried about it at the gym. And then the second the time was up and you knew that Ethan Ralph wasn't going to show up, then all of a sudden he started getting all froggy and like, oh, man, I'm mad now that he didn't show up. He literally said that. Now, yeah, he didn't show up. Now I'm mad. It's like, what?
Talking all that smack behind a locked door.
Yeah.
And that's it. Another thing, and I actually tweeted that out, was the fact that when it came to fighting Ethan Ralph, all he said was show up to the gym, sign this release, put your headgear on and your gloves on, and let's go. When it came to fighting Melton, who's a monster, I think he's taller and he's definitely bigger than Aaron in stature. He was like, oh, yeah, you got to get tested out by the state of Minnesota Athletic Commission. You got to, like, he wanted to put him through all this stuff, which pretty much tells me you don't want to fight the guy. So there is like, maybe it's a no-win situation for him because he's a boxer and he's supposed to be able to beat up Melton. So if he lost, it would be the worst. But winning probably wouldn't say that much because he's a boxer. So he's supposed to win, right?
Right.
So it's like a lose-lose.
Yeah.
It's another win for the toe, actually.
Another win for the two. So back to good old Aaron breaking down the video of, or not even the video, the picture of Ashley. God, I can't talk tonight. I'm sorry, my brain's a little deadly today. April hanging out with the Reketas and Ethan Ralph at the lunch thing. That's what we're full circle going back to. But yeah, he had a lot of thoughts about it. And I don't know, you guys noticed how much shit he was talking about the possibility that April stunk, or like any chance he gets, he wants to rip her apart.
Yeah.
But he actually had some nice things to say about her for once. So I was kind of surprised.
Now, I disagree with Citizen M actually on the group photo. I actually think, I will say about the group photo, I think April looks good. I think April looks much healthier in the group photo. Like, I had people tweet me about it. They were like, I'm sorry, Aaron, but she looks good. And I'm sitting here going, why are you sorry? I don't think I've ever said that I wanted her to rot in hell and die and get disgusting and coked out and shitty. I've always said I would like her to get better. I mean, step one is looking better. She, she's a little on the frail side still, but she's improving. The skin looks better. The hair looks better. She's dressed like a prostitute. But look, I mean, people are who they are. That's a fashion choice. To me, that's not
a little on the frail side? You mean like back in January when she was really on the frail side and you didn't have a thing to say about it then? Coincidental.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Mr. Blue Sky. 50 kroners. I want to fight quad. Hey, I want to fight you, Mr. Blue Sky. I'll fight you, your piano, your kroners, and whatever Vikings you bring with you. Bring it on, MFer.
necessarily, is that something we can judge? I don't know. I'll leave it to others. But maybe I'm setting a low bar here. I don't know. I think she looks much better. We'll show you a little bit. We'll show you in a little bit here. But Nick looks like a snowbird old uncle. He looks old compared to both April and Kayla. Not that, look, I get it. Like, going through something like that'll age you. I look at Nick and I go, thank God I got the out of there, because that would have been me. It would have been he and I both we would have both been omnibussing today. We would have been omnibussing, Nick and I, together as fucking tunnel buddies. So, glad I did what I did. Glad I got to where I got to, because
glad I did what I did. What is he glad that he did? Can we all wildly speculate exactly what he just said there? Glad that he snitched everybody out after he got kicked out of the polycule.
That's all he's done. There's been, just like everything else where the truth is sort of sprinkled in, he has so many tells and like Freudian slips and times where he doesn't catch himself, where he will say things that, to me from jump, it's been obvious that he was at least feeding him information, if not like an actual informant. But yeah, he's constantly telling on himself like that. There'll be a little slip like that where it's the particular wording that he says that he uses. And lots of times he'll try to backtrack on it real fast. He'll realize it like as soon as it gets out of his mouth, and then he'll flip it. But yeah, for sure.
Tunnel buddies means Eskimo brothers. Yes, DBJ, correct. Very, very true. And I think
This is all his-
Eskimo brothers is different than Eskimo kisses, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think you do butterfly kisses on the butthole. I think that's what that is. But
sorry to interrupt you, Lenny. What were you gonna say?
He's said a couple of times in passing that like very in passing that he was the one who brought this up to April to like see if she was cool with it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So he has admitted a few times to being the catalyst for all of this even beginning.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I remember right, like Nick put his hand on April's leg or something like that, and Aaron was like, "What's up with that?" And then
telling the story he repeats is the April and Kayla started like making out and doing stuff, and then they went to their like respective bedrooms and like fucked or whatever the fuck. And a week later, Aaron apparently had been thinking about it for a week and then brought it up to April and essentially said, "Hey, they're swingers. Like maybe we could get in on that." You know what I mean? He has admitted to that a few times that he was the dude, the guy.
It makes me question though. So if that's the true story, why would he want to do that? If he's coming out now saying it was a bad idea, blah blah, but why would he want to do it in the first place?
He
Was
said
it because he was
earlier
interested in swinging, but his true intention, like, or was it more of like a clout thing?
He said earlier. He said earlier that it was more along the lines of everybody involved was essentially sick of their partner and the opportunity presented itself for a fun time, a safe, fun time, because it's technically not cheating. You know what I mean?
I heard him earlier on some other clip. I was listening to it. It's been earlier today, but it might not have been from a clip from today. But he said that he, was into Kayla and was interested in Kayla. But I think it's multi-pronged. I think it's that. I think it's the clout. I think he knew that, he wanted out. Like he said, he wanted out of the relationship. This was the way that it could all go down where he could have a good time. He could get clout. He could get attention. And April would, no longer be an issue. On top of that, he would get the attention from the fallout. He talks to the cops and says, "Hey, I'm all better now. I'm glad I got out of it, pulled the nose of the plane up right in time. Watch all this fall away." And he's supposed to come out, basically not smelling of anything, completely clean. But
right.
I think and I don't want to make it like he's this huge mastermind. I don't think it's that at all. But I think that as this sort of developed, it was all wins for the toe on one side of the fence, right? So no matter what he did in the situation, he won because he constantly was like, "I bet I'm going to get those papers signed now." Like he knew what he was doing and he knew what he was going to look like on the other side of it. So that's why he had to get in front of it and be like, "Yeah, I did it, Molly 6 or 7 times." And that's my guess is it was multi-pronged and he saw a lot of opportunity and this was a gold mine.
I agree with Colin Madden. I think he really just wanted to have sex with Nick Rekieta.
Nick Rekieta and I are fucking each other.
Yeah, there's also that. That's always been Jackie's thing. Jackie's like
I'm telling you.
A scorned lover, and it's for Nick.
For Nick,
yeah.
He's
not He's not mad about like the whole wife thing. He's mad that Nick was just like, "I just don't want to fuck you anymore."
And people have said that. I mean, Melton has said that. Like maybe that was the thought from the very beginning. Is he was annoyed with April. He probably maybe the real day-to-day life had started with her, and he kind of just warned himself. She wore her welcome out with him, and from the very beginning was trying to like find a way out. But then you add the clout chasing with the Nick Rekieta and his channel on top of it. It could be maybe multi-pronged. Maybe he saw all kinds of possibilities with that arrangement. So maybe they're all true. Maybe they're all correct.
I don't want to dig out of that pit. I am very happy to not be there and to be where I am. So if I'm being replaced by Ethan Ralph in the polycule, consider me a happy man. Now, the first thing I want to point out, Ethan Ralph looks photoshopped into this picture. Look at the awkward way he's reaching for Nick. The other thing is, I don't think this guy stayed in a hotel. I don't think he's showered since he started his journey from Mexico a couple of days ago. Poor Kayla is right in that fucking pit, man. Kayla is right in that Ralph-a-mania pit stink. Ugh.
Yeah, I don't know why Nick wants to fool around or why Aaron would want to fool around. Both their ladies are very pretty and whatever. Like, I don't really get it. I don't get why
Nick
you would
looks
want to
like-
hand them over to other people. It seems really weird.
Right?
Nick looks like a frat boy in this picture. I don't know why. It just
Just a
reminds
really
me of
old frat boy.
just stuff like Alabama, like Greek life. I don't know why, but it does.
He looks skinnier than April here, and that's what gets me is like if you just glance at the photo, he's the smallest. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just
like
it's startling.
Group. It looks like the standard group of Sims that you could just place in a house. Like that fucking, you know what I mean?
Build a little fence around them and let them starve to death and pee all over themselves. We all did it. Let's be honest. We all did it.
It's true. I would not dress
saw this picture. I thought it was fake.
You thought this picture was fake?
I did. I thought the picture was fake. I was like, no. I don't know. I don't know. I think I just cannot believe. I don't know. I just can't believe it.
I think the wardrobe choice is weird. The ladies, anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All of their wardrobes. Yeah. Agreed.
Like, where do you wear this? I mean, where are they?
To
like
lunch.
Longhorn
They
or
went to
something?
lunch. No, they all went to lunch together. That's actually, I mean, I just kind of followed the day along with the live streams with Ethan Rouse. So I kind of knew exactly where he was. And like he was saying, he sat right next to Kayla. And he said, like, every time he saw Nick, they would hug and be like, yeah, nice to meet you. And they were buddy right off the bat. And then he was like, yeah, we all went out to lunch together. So I already knew that had happened. And then Ethan is the one that posted the picture. So that's why I assumed it was real.
One thing
other
I think
than
is
that, it did kind of look fake-ish, like Photoshop.
He does look like he's placed in there. But you see Nick's cowlick? I think that's interesting because while we were live the other day, somebody sent me some notes from inside the courtroom. And that was one of the things that they pointed out was that Nick had a big cowlick. And I'm thinking, did you like glance in the mirror? I mean, he didn't wear this to court. We've seen the pictures. So it's like, did you fix her hair? I don't know. It's little things like that I'm sorry. I shouldn't do that. But that kind of thing bothers me.
5 cowlicks.
Yeah.
Those things are hard as fuck to contain, especially when you got short hair.
All right. Well, fair enough. But it's one of those things where I'm like, damn, they did say there was a cowlick. I didn't see it in the other picture. I'm like, wow, I didn't fix it. And
no, you're kind of right. Like, get some pomade, man.
Right? Just something. There's a reflection right there. And there, you've got all these ladies around you. Aren't they helping him?
I don't want no pomade. I'm a Dapper Dan man.
Would you wear salmon colored shorts, or do you own salmon colored shorts?
No, I'm anti-salmon. I'm anti-pink. Not a fan of any of that stuff. And people that are like, oh, you got to be a real man to wear pinks. No. You got to be a real fag if you just want to be flat out honest. No, pink is not cool for dudes to wear. FYI, it's not 1985 and it's not neon colors. Not happening.
I disagree. I do have a problem with the length of the shorts though.
Yeah.
Yeah, considering really you can see all the crap on his legs. Like, actually, that's what Aaron's about to tear into Nick's legs. And he says actually some funny stuff. Man, might be true. I don't know.
Is that disgusting? And he wore that to court, by the way. He wore a baseball jersey to court. Nice, wonderful. By the way, thank you. I saw that
it wasn't his court case. Who cares what you wear to court if you're not the one like getting up there?
That's Ralph's best shirt too.
It might actually be
a 3-piece suit to show up in court.
He is kind of low class, and after a man after my own heart, low class trailer trash. Yes.
The internet did do a side by side of what Nick was wearing to court and what I wore to court yesterday. It was nice that of the court cucks, as they called it, I was the much better dressed and better looking. I don't win that battle often, so I got to take the wins when I can get it. I mean, look, was the competition stiff? No, you do that many stimulants, you can't get stiff. But it was nice to get the win. That's all. Is it beating Glass Joe in Punch-Out? Yeah, but I believe a win against Glass Joe still counts. Now I get to go on to fight Von Kaiser. So this photo, people took a look at it, and there's been mixed reviews so far. First of all, people are talking about what look like AIDS lesions all over Nick's legs.
AIDS
I'm hoping it's bug bites, and that he's been picking them open, and those little tiny legs where the calves are the same size as the thighs, but there's just like his legs look like Andy Beckett's face in Philadelphia. It's brutal. But anyway, any rate, he looks so old. Like he just looks a lot older than these girls. He looks a lot older than Kayla. He looks a lot older than April. He looks like their uncle. I'm going to even say maybe no.
Uncle, they both sit on his lap. That might be the case.
Oof.
Ralph is the worst looking. He looks like something that has mange. So I'm going to go Ralph 4, Nick 3. It's close. I'm going to go. Yeah. Kayla 2.
Is he putting him in order of the ones that he would fuck? I don't even get what he's doing there.
Yeah.
1 through 4 of people that I would have sex with in the proper order.
Nick number 1. 4.
Right.
Oh my word.
Yeah, well, we already had sex with him, so that's just no fun anymore. No, I love that he was given an opportunity to beat up on poor little Nicky Poo without him defending himself again, which is the only thing that can happen at this point. It seems like is Aaron talking shit, and really Nick can't say much about it. Have you guys actually heard him refer to Aaron at all? Hardly on any stream anywhere.
The only time I've heard him, the only time I've ever heard him say anything about him specifically, he'll say, Aaron's his own man. He can say whatever he wants. I hope he makes $1 million and just lets it go. And he's like, people can decide whatever they want, and take, consider the source basically. But that's all that I've heard him say at all, which is smart. And I hope that I'm sure that him and many, many others are taking notes. And when this is all said and done, that he goes after him. Like we said earlier, maybe selling the house will give him the monetary ability to do so, because I'd love to see it. I'm sure with all the different contradictions we see from Aaron, even sentence to sentence, show to show, I'm sure there's something in there, if not everything, that he can go after him for, defaming him.
Slander, defamation, those kind of cases, civil case.
Yes. Yep. And he should.
Yeah, because if you actually even think about the whole even polycule thing, the only person that we've heard it from is Aaron. So we don't know how much of it is true. Is it all true? Is it all false? Is part of it true? Is part of it false? And no one else is saying anything about it. So we're just kind of going on his word.
Polyquadruple. Quadruple? No, it's Cule. It's polycule. Get it right. I'm not part of any Cule. Nothing that Cule, at least. Color spectrum. All right. You're in the chat. You're side chatting, Lemmy. Busted. Stop
That's
it.
fake Lemmy. That is 100% confirmed fake Lemmy. I checked.
No crosstalk.
Lemmy has a wrench. I don't get it. I don't remember giving fake Lemmy a wrench.
People are internet wizards. They could do that sort of thing. I bet it's Moody. Moody could do it.
Yes. Actually, he probably could. He could probably hack him and shut us down right now if he wanted to.
That's true. Can't confirm.
I should stop giving him ideas, I guess. All right, so let's get to the little clip here where people are saying that he's referring to. I'm not so sure myself, but a lot of people are saying this clip is where he pretty much refers to Ashley as cousin, and this is just from yesterday. I don't know if you guys have actually seen this clip already, but check it out and see what you think.
Somebody writes in, did your dad say, I told her so? I told her so. I told her so. I mean, there were quite a few people in my family that in a roundabout way gave me the old I told her so. One of my cousins did text me when I apologized to them and said, I tried to tell you about that fucking crack whore. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. That's a little heavy. I opened up that text and I literally shot backwards. I literally went, whoa. All right.
Yeah, I agree, Quad Father.
We're just kicking right off with the coke whore thing, aren't we?
So you think that might be Ashley sent him a text saying, I told you? No. You think that's just
I was agreeing with you.
Cousin?
Yeah, because he prefaced it by saying that, he's been talking to his family and whatnot, and we know that he just got back in contact with them. So on this one, I don't think so. No, I think he's talking about his actual cousin.
Yeah, I saw that everybody and their dog was like, oh yeah, that's code word, because he has in the past said cousin, and that was actually a reference to Ashley. But in that particular one, I don't think that's the case.
I agree.
Have you guys caught any code words that he's possibly been using lately that might refer to that? I'm everybody's watching it so closely now. I'm sure they would have clipped it, but do you guys watch Steel Toe every day to keep up with what he's saying?
I watch it more than I'd like to admit. I listen to it a lot while I'm working or doing chores, and at the gym I'll play replays. I'm normally at the gym when he goes live, so I can just listen to it and be doing my thing. And I've been listening to it a lot more recently because of the court situation, because I wanted to hear him, I don't know, guilty pleasure, but I wanted to hear him slip up, and I think everybody knows he's going to. It's just a matter of how soon. So yeah, I've been listening a lot lately. But how about you, Quad Father? Do you watch all of them?
I do. Okay, so as far as just watching it live, pretty rarely. I was actually in there today messing with him a little bit on the Rumble chat, just giving him a bad time. And he always seems to read my chats when I put them in there, so I kind of know I can pretty much put mean shit. He'll read it. I called him a cuck and something else today, and he read them both. He's like, yeah, whatever. Wow. He's like, that's BYB Podcast. That's Quad Father. And he's like, yeah, just happened to be calling me a cuck today because he was saying something. I was like, aren't you a cuck? And whatever, he can take it however he wants. He's usually pretty good for beating stuff. I think the main thing, if you say anything about his domestic violence stuff or whatever, there's a few no-go spots, but I do watch the live replays on double speed so that I can actually bear it and get through it. But I can't watch every episode every day. That's impossible. I know a lot of people do. I can't do it. So I try to catch as much as I can. I kind of know how his show goes, so I know where he'll bring up stuff. He'll bring up mostly the main points. You could listen to the first hour of his show and pretty much know exactly what specific things he'll talk about. Rarely will he get into the second or third hour and then bring up something that he hasn't referenced in the first hour. So you can usually get away with knowing what he's all about that day. Just like that. And watch it back on times double speed is so much better.
Yeah. When you get used to watching him on a faster speed, when you watch it normal, you're like, oh my God, hurry.
No, there literally is so much wasted air. I'm not saying that I talk fast and that I keep talking the entire show, but he definitely doesn't. So when I watch his show back, that's all I catch is dead air. It's like, wow.
That's more of his radio background, I guess. Do you think that's why he's got that cadence where he takes long pauses and
absolutely.
I guess. Yeah,
because if you're gonna have a 3-hour show every day, you're gonna have 40 and 40. You're gonna have pretty much 2 hours. So if you're on the air for 3 hours, you're gonna be talking for 2 hours. So you kind of got to string it out. I would assume that's the cadence. Because if you listen to radio, nobody talks really fast. Like, there's a bunch of shows on the internet where like Michael Malice or like a Dennis Miller, where it's hard to keep up with those guys. They're like, blah, 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 and they have so many points so fast. It's like, what the, and then they're all over the place. So if you don't know how to try to if you don't listen to it every day, it can be exhausting. But whatever, I can listen to him on times too, and I don't miss a thing. I try to play clips back sometimes on double speed when people are on the show watching it. And for some reason, it doesn't work on here as good. But I have noticed Melton's been doing that.
Playing at 2-speed?
Yeah. When he's been playing clips back, he's been playing Bilto on double speed when he's got like a half-hour clip to watch.
And you know what? Sometimes that's more interesting to watch movies like, I don't know, just not, I guess his movements and to me, that's a lot more amusing anyway. But I think you're talking about the one clip that I have played like 4 or 5 times over and over again and sent it to Jackie and was like, you have to watch this. You don't have to watch any part of the rest of the show. Are you talking about the time where he like found, I don't know what he did, but he sped it up just a little bit? It was like skipping,
I think he was on times 2, and then he started playing it like times and a half or whatever.
I loved it. I loved every second of it. It was
Absolutely
fantastic.
Yes, that is the ladder behind me. Yes, and I'm not going up the ladder. And no, Soren, it's not Jacob's ladder. Good Bible reference, though. Good job. Yes, I actually have another clip. Next clip. And this kind of goes along with him mocking and making fun of Nick. But yeah, it's funny that a guy that has cried so many times this year, or fake cried, it's up for debate, I guess, is making fun of Nick Rekieta for crying, maybe once, possibly. I think this is so thorough Joe Burrow.
Maybe I'm a dork. Maybe I'm a nerd. One of the more shameless clips I saw is he pretended, he tried to cry about the person who ratted him to Child Protective Services.
The guy? Yeah, he tried to cry about the guy. It's almost like you're talking about your...
saying.
Yeah, right. Isn't that insane?
That's what I mean, dude. He says it almost every show. At least one time he'll slip just like that. Just enough.
Who could possibly be the guy? The concerned citizen.
That hero, that savior.
Yeah, I wonder if it's the one that knows Sweep, Alicia Sweep. He knows her real well.
Yeah.
She's really first name basis. They talk on the phone daily, right? They're good pals at this point. And the officer. We'll get into a little bit of that too, and then I think that's pretty much it for today.
Like him trying to make himself cry, that narcissistic manipulation. I mean, as someone who's felt a lot of legitimate feelings,
this man has no dick.
Literally, broken himself down to nothing and rebuilt from zero.
Looks like I got to move on to some new dick, huh?
To watch people try to use those very, other people's very real emotions. For them to try to mimic those emotions so they can try to get sympathy is really disgusting to watch and gets zero sympathy from me. Zero sympathy. I'm moving on from something that I'm going to miss for a long time, and it's going to be tough. And I'm moving on, and I'm doing a great job. For them to try to mimic those emotions so they can try to get sympathy is really disgusting to watch. And really disgusting to watch. And we hugged, and it was nice. And I said, honey, I miss her too.
Is that's like right before they had their murder fantasy together with the country song most recently? Like, you and the kid had a little cry about missing April, and then you moved right on to the country song about ending her life, right, and burying her. It's funny how quick that happened.
Yeah.
Will you be my forever mommy? And then she's gone. We miss her, and then we need to off that forever mommy. Where is she? Let's go hunt her down, like with a bow and arrow like she's a deer. Leave her. Yeah. I'm horrible. All right. Well, I had a couple questions about things that Nick Rekieta. I've had you here for 2 hours and 15 minutes. I think I've taken up enough of your time, but I did kind of want to go through Nick Rekieta's tweets from the last couple days. They're fairly interesting and
remarkably interesting.
Very remarkably, indeed. So let's go through those, and then we'll probably call it an evening. All right, I hope I did these in order, because otherwise I'm going to look like an idiot. Rekieta Law, yes, from today. All of these are from today. Okay, I spent basically. So he always is responding to people on Twitter. I don't know why he has to feel compelled to respond to all these people, but he does seem to have to do that. Rekieta. Okay, so I guess I should read. I'll read first what he is responding to. And Rekieta is using a combination of an appeal to authority, fan loyalty, and his audience's political bias to gaslight them into thinking there's a warrant requires a very high standard when it really isn't. What do you guys know about acquiring a search warrant? Is it a high standard to acquire one from what you understand about the law?
I know his
I have
grammar.
no idea.
I've got more issues with that dude's grammar than whatever he's talking about with the law. Yeah, I mean, I think there's just a couple of things that you would need to check off as far as, basic things that would require a warrant, right?
Right. Yeah, they would need probable cause, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that really is a question, right? What constitutes the threshold for reasonable cause to go search someone's house like that?
Yeah,
obviously,
especially if they're going to use a battering ram to knock down the doors and stuff.
right.
Right.
And they did not. It does not seem like they had a no-knock warrant, so it was like they asked permission, I guess, but they didn't get it, so they broke the door down. All right, so Rekieta's response is, I spent basically an entire live stream saying we really only asked the cops not lie. This dork says I'm trying to convince people that is a very high standard. This is typical. People place me into their argument fantasies and pretend I make claims that I don't. So yeah, he's not saying that there's a very high standard and whatever. I mean, he is right. He never actually did say that. Next one. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I mean, I haven't finished it yet, but the stream that he did the other day, and he was talking about when it came to the motion to dismiss the search warrant, it had nothing to do with the evidence that they found. It had everything to do with the warrant itself. And he had issues with people talking about the actual evidence. I don't know. But when it comes to the, his issue was, did they have well, I don't even know if that's even true, because he did say, did they have enough evidence or enough probable cause to actually have the search warrant? So it could be the words that he uses, because all the time he's using lawyer language. He lawyers everybody all the time, and he uses this language in which what he's saying feels like it can be implied to his case at all times. So it gets confusing.
And I do think it is confusing, because I do know a little bit about the law from people that I know that are lawyers and whatnot. And the same thing with doctors. When you go to university to become a doctor or a lawyer, you actually do learn an entirely new language to speak, and it can be confusing. If someone is well versed in lawyer speak, then they do speak lawyer talk, and it can be confusing for a layman, but whatever. I mean, the more you look into stuff, the more you understand it. So I think you're getting a good, we're all getting a good lesson in lawyer speak when we're doing the law tubing. I guess we're all law tubers too. You guys are part of the game, and we've become law tubers. Look how that's
nice.
All right, next one. He's arguing with the same guy like over and over and over. I'm not going to pull his comment up. I'll just read it. You can see typical manga fan. If I said that I found a video that got removed by the original uploader, am I lying if I don't explicitly say that it's a re-upload? Wouldn't the mention that it got removed pretty much imply that it's obviously not the original video from the original source? And of course, he's referring to Rekieta's drunk high stream, where we all know. How about right off the bat, I'll ask you guys, do you think you saw cocaine on his nose? Did it look like that to you when everybody zoomed in and we're like, oh, look at the cocaine on his nose, he's so high?
There was something white on there.
Yeah.
Okay. So you both agree?
I don't know. Maybe he was hungry and from all that drinking and needed a powdered donut. I don't know. It was a little suspicious.
There's a reference.
To me, what was more, I mean, obviously the white on the nose was pretty obvious, but he was like nearly comatose before this 45-minute break. And when he came back, he was absolutely zooted. His eyeballs were like peeled to the back of his head. And he talking like this. And oh my gosh. And you know how he does this number, like with his hands and his, on his face all the time. I mean, it was just like, he was like voguing when he came back. It was insane.
He was a rotisserie of.
And it wasn't.
Hey, I'm going to call you out, Haley. I do notice you do the high school picture photo a lot.
What's that? Oh, my desk.
You do the hand under the chin thing.
I get lazy. I sit here for too long, and I'm like.
Oh, okay. I do that. Yeah, I do it more like that, but. You do it more elegant than most people. I will say that.
It's a glamour shot. It's called a glamour shot.
Yeah, the glamour shot. Like the high school, the graduation photo.
I just get lazy after a while. That's all.
Well, I'm always lazy, so I understand. Okay, so that video was taken down, and then so just by the fact that it was taken down and put up by someone else, where the cop found it, does not mean that it's actually edited out of context. And that it's not, admissible to a court to get a search warrant. I don't see an issue with it, but do you guys consider it?
I feel like it's a technicality.
Do you consider it altered if it's just taken down and re-uploaded somewhere else?
Technically, it is altered.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you took all of the context out. You took all of the context out.
Yeah, okay, because you're clipping it out of a larger clip, which obviously the context changes. Like Rekieta made a 3-hour video, you only make like a 5-minute clip of it. Yeah, it's out of context.
It could be said that it was taken. It could be completely accurate and sum up the entire stream perfectly into what he did. You know what I mean? But technically, it is a shortened, altered version of that stream. And he could be like, well, I was acting. Like he could pull a Stevie Lou. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Acting.
I have a question, though. But when is being drunk on a stream probable cause for a search warrant?
Very good question.
That's also a good,
I don't like that thought. That really actually bugs me. That's the point that really bugs me about all of this. Like, what are we all doing on streams that some cop could go look at and be like, oh, that's a crime on stream? Like, I mean, I understand the child pornography or child abuse, that kind of shit. But just us all hanging out on a stream getting too drunk, like that's probable cause to go into a person's home. Since when? Like,
go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like the kids, like all the stuff that was being brought about the kids had a lot to do with that, with it like backing up, which I agree. I don't think that's a probable cause either. But I feel like the weight of it was the children's safety. So that included whatever their surroundings were. You've got the teachers and the minister and the whatever the Sunday school teachers or co-op teachers all saying, yeah, they came in, they were saying they were hungry, they were smelling, all this stuff. So to me, there was like a combination of things. I still don't know if that would be enough for, probable cause. But when you've got supposedly 4 or 5 people that are all coming to the pastor and saying like, yo, this is out of control, I don't know. I just feel like the children had a lot more to do with it than the drunk streams.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know if you guys know or anybody in the chat would know either, though. So then my question is so in this motion to dismiss the search warrant, it said that on May 16th or something is when the police had gotten information from the mandatory reporter about the kids. Then they had taken that information to Health and Human Services to see if it would qualify underneath the definition of like child neglect or endangerment. Now, in that motion, it said that they had gotten a letter from the police had gotten a letter from Alicia Sweet by the 20th saying that based on what they were told, it does not fall underneath the definition of child endangerment and neglect. So I don't know. I haven't seen the letter. I don't know who has seen the letter or if it's even real or not. But if that is, then what other things did they have for that search warrant? Because if Health and Human, maybe they could just say, well, even though that Health and Human Services didn't said that it didn't qualify underneath the definition, the police could probably still use it as a basis, but I don't know.
Well, yeah, when combined with concerned citizen, or
right.
We could just say snitch, Aaron. Yeah, and then that live stream. They're trying to throw all that stuff together and say that that's enough. But if you take each part on their own and look at it, it's like, I guess that's what they're trying to say is if you put them all together, then it does qualify. But I know that the judge they have now is not the same judge that issued the search warrant, correct? So
I don't know. So I haven't seen that.
It is a different guy.
It's a different person. It's not the one that Nick said that he wanted to drink out of her vagina or something.
Right. The one he's had all kinds of issues with and talked tons of shit about. Yeah, not good.
But didn't he have to petition to change the judge?
Yes, the judge was.
Yeah,
I feel like early on there was. Sure. What didn't he, Jackie? Didn't he have to petition the court and say that there was some kind of issue with her?
It's a conflict of interest, right? I think that's all he had to say because obviously it's true. I would even go as far as say, yeah, she would probably have issues with you being in her court, and I wouldn't really trust her judgment. If she hates your guts, that's not a good thing. But
how awkward would that be, though? Being you both know what you just said about the judge. That's
and have to look her in the
determining
eyes.
Your fate.
Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor. No, Your Honor. You fucking.
Would he be thinking the whole time? No. Could I actually drink out of a vagina? I don't know. Right. And she's like, should I have used that summer's eve? I don't know.
Yes. Maybe that's who he bought it for. Who knows? All right, we'll just pop into the next one. Same. All right, so these are actually. Let me just back it up here. I don't know. This is pretty convincing. This is very far from a lie or misrepresentation. And of course, that's an opinion. That's not just fact. Oops. So, yeah, on the 22nd, Imholte did a video blog where he called about Nicholas and insinuated controlled substance use and also referred to a video blog that the Nicholas put online. 521, that he had since been taken off the internet. The video had been taken off the internet. Imholte indicates in this blog that Nicholas needs help and needs to get help for his kids because of his substance abuse. Imholte points out a time in the video where Nicholas has a white powdery substance on his nose. And of course, the video we're talking about is Steel Toe's video that was taken down, not the actual Nicholas's video, correct? And then on the 22nd, your affiant was able to review the video that was taken off of Nicholas's YouTube and Rumble social media sites. The video is from 521 and is of Nicholas in his basement. That's what was cut off there.
Isn't that the one that they're talking about being removed, though? Because it was a big argument that Nick ended up coming back and be like, yeah, you're right. There was a copy on Odyssey, and maybe they saw it that way, but that's not what they were saying in the search warrant. In the search warrant, they said they only saw the minute and 11-second clip, and that the argument was
that was shown on
Right.
Steel Toe's show,
Right.
which then was also later taken down. So
Mhm.
it's all very nuanced and it's kind of
Yeah.
weird, but whatever, you got to get into it because that is Nick's defense or whatever he's
Right.
trying to imply is the root of what do they call it? The tree. If the tree is poisoned, then all the fruits thereof are poisoned, so they're inadmissible. So yeah, he's trying to get it all thrown out in one big pile. And whatever. That was from the omnibus from Wednesday. We know that. So you guys kind of all agree that there is some amount of funny business when it comes to the using Aaron's words to pretty much get the search warrant to take down Nick. Would they have ever looked into the children, or did that stuff all come completely stemmed from what Aaron did as far as the snitching? Or do you know if the timing is separate and maybe they would not have looked into it without? Do you know, like, do we have a weight that we can put on each one of those things happens separately? Whether or not what the pastor and the teachers were saying, that wasn't enough from what your understanding is, right? There would have never been a search warrant. There would have never been someone going to the house. I mean, that's pretty much what you said, right, Jackie?
Yeah. They needed more.
And Aaron was the more.
I feel like he was planting seeds. It's interesting that he ended up going to church a few times with them and so forth and so on. And he said several times that he had a lot of phone calls with Kayla's sister and Kayla's brother and all these different people. So for me, it's almost like, and I don't know this to be true, obviously, but it's like he was sowing this stuff, and then that makes people see things that maybe aren't even there, or things, are blown up, whereas before they may have looked over them. I swear from the beginning, I've thought, this is Aaron. Maybe not all Aaron, but he is all over this. And I want to go back and listen to some of the streams right before they got arrested. I did that for a little bit the other day, and there are things where it almost sounds like he's, purposely saying certain things because he knows the detective is listening. Well, if you go back a little further than that, and you start listening to sort of how it's set up and some of the slips that he makes about, like when he said, he was trying to get Kayla and April to get out of there. That was like a day or two before the arrest. He told Kiki about Kayla, but not about April and Nick the day before the arrest. He calls April's parent without talking to him for 7 weeks the day before the arrest. And I played on our
Kayla's
show.
dad too, right? Dan. Now we're finding that online.
Dan the man.
Yeah. So it's like, it's hard to ignore the fact that he knew something was coming, but the timing of it's insane. On our show the other day, we went back to see how he had set up, the MLC podcast, which that's where he found out supposedly that they had gotten arrested on air. He also had Kino Casino lined up and Killstream. And this was all the week of the arrest. And I'm like,
yeah.
I mean, now mind you.
Okay, just stop there. Do you know if he already had those interviews set up previous to going on MLC? Like, do we have any proof of that?
Yeah, when we
That would
played
be
it on our show.
interesting to know.
Well, when we played it on our show the other day, he had been talking about Kevin, going on with Kevin, and they were discussing what date to go on, and they wanted to go on before Labor Day. And then he comes on like the next day, and he's like, "Yeah, we're going to be on there Wednesday for sure. I got to call Kevin, blah blah blah." And he was like, "And I'm also going to do Kino Casino, and I want to do the Kill Stream too, but I need to put it out in that order. I've already promised Kevin tomorrow." And he was like, "I really want to go on there because I know that he's got a big audience, and there's a lot of eyes over there, and so forth and so on." On our show, what show was that? Our Wednesday show or our Tuesday show? This week,
our Tuesday show.
We went over those because to me, that's what's interesting now, like knowing the context that we have, looking back, because we know Aaron tells on himself all the time, and he's got like he can't hold a secret. He has to tell somebody, even if it's in some kind of weird code. Yeah, I mean, to me, that's very interesting to go back because like the entire. Really several weeks before this happened, because he kept saying that April was upstairs, whatever, making candy bacon, and like it's all bullshit. Yeah. So it's like, all right, well, we know all these things. So what else was he actually saying that was sort of out there in the open,
alluding to what was coming? Right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah. And then right after that, the next day, like he's getting phone calls while he's doing these streams. And there's a detective wants to talk to me. Yes. Oh, I gotta go upstairs and talk to this detective. Ooh, it's like, yeah, okay. Well, why do you have to talk to it like that? That was a weird. And now we know why, obviously, because he was like, all right, now now that all of this stuff is coming out, now I got to confirm your story again, probably like that kind of stuff to make sure. Now, make sure your story is still the same or whatever the hell. Who knows? But the way Aaron was saying it was like, oh yeah, he just wanted to know like my side, and he wanted me to. He was like, I'm happy to. I want to tell everybody, and God, and my pastor, and my therapist, and this detective that's on the phone. I just want to be, because when you talk to a detective, you want to tell them everything you know about all the stuff you did, because the law enforcement, they respect that. And you'll get a slap on the hand instead of a prison sentence if you just tell them the truth. We know that's exactly how the law works, right? You just tell them the truth, and you go away scot-free. Mr. Nobody, $2. Make toe to the MMA. Make toe do MMA. Okay. Mixed martial arts. It would be hilarious. It would be hilarious to see him actually fight like a grappler, because he's tall and lanky like that. They would just take him to the ground and beat the shit out of him instantly. It would not be a fight. We could get Luke Como, who was on Monday's show. We could get him to go to Minnesota. We'll fund it. Have him go beat his ass. Actually, I do have one more thing I would like to do just to bomb through it. This will just take a minute. I don't know if you got to see the Ethan Ralph stuff. Apparently, he doxed Steel Tail. I guess everybody and their dog probably knows where he lives at this point. But Ethan Ralph was naughty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know why I showed that picture. But Steel Tail Morning Show. So someone said, do you think Ethan Ralph, no, Nick Rekieta. Okay, so the reason I showed the picture is because they all went to lunch together, Nick Rekieta and Ethan Ralph. Do you think possibly that Nick Rekieta told Ethan Ralph Aaron's address just to fuck with him so he would go take pictures of it and mess with him? Or is it just that? Because he never brought up going to his house. He never said the address. He never had a picture the entire time he was in Minnesota till after they went to lunch together. Then all of a sudden he's on Telegram. If everyone knows what Telegram is, it's also a public site for what are they? I'm dying on my words here.
Encrypted
social media. It's social media.
How'd they get a screenshot? That's what I'm curious about. That how they get a screenshot off Telegram? I thought you couldn't screenshot Telegram.
I would assume you could just screenshot Telegram.
Yeah, you can.
I can't.
You can.
Okay, you probably can't go into the chat and then like press on a picture and like have it saved to your photos. But you can
No, I
always
mean like straight
screenshot.
up screenshot. I couldn't. I
Oh,
can't.
okay.
You must be in like some kind of channel that's got it heavily encrypted or something. There's
Mm-hmm.
settings. It just depends on like where you're at, I guess. But
But you
'cause
can
I've seen
always
that
pull it
too.
up on your computer and just take a picture of your monitor, you know. Like there's always a workaround. These people always find a way. Yeah. Oh, I'm not even showing this one. All right, here. Yeah. Blood sport in the area. Send me Insta. I need to mail him something.
Oh boy.
Right. And then there's the photo in question, I guess. I think I actually have the real picture. I don't know if I should put it up there. I'm looking at it myself, but I don't think I should.
We don't need to be involved in any of that kind of stuff.
Right.
So he went and took a picture of his home. And
that's from like a
just-
realtor site.
Oh, okay. Honestly,
Yeah. It kind of looks like someone actually was out on the street and took a picture of it. The Tahoe's in the driveway, and like it looks very recent. In like a realtor picture would be very old, and it would be from like Zillow or something like that from someone.
What about
actually, he's not
like
selling
Google
the house
Maps?
right now. What's that? Google. Oh,
Google
Google.
Maps, maybe?
Yeah, Google Maps, possibly, but it doesn't. No, it doesn't look like one of those pictures, but it could be. You're right.
You think somebody's out there?
It kind of looks like someone standing just on the street, just like just right past the curb, right where it would be like the exact legal spot to take a picture.
Right.
That's why I think it's not a Google Maps, but it could be. I mean, I could be wrong on that one.
Who knows?
But that is what Breaking Baldo News said. He says, Rekieta Law, please explain how Ethan Ralph only posted and doxed pictures of Aaron's private residence after he met with you in person. And that is a very, very good question. I'm curious of that myself. But can you blame Rekieta at this point? I mean, like there's no love lost there.
The timing is very weird.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, like I was hoping that he would have showed up for the boxing match or whatever.
Yes.
But then also like I was like, what if it's like, what is it? The Jets and the Sharks, and like Nick Rekieta rolls up with them, and then the ladies are there and they're like about to do like a dance fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But I remember
I got your reference.
Someone
West
had
Side
asked
Story.
Aaron in the chat that night, oh, well, what happens if Nick's there? And you could see the demeanor on his face change a little bit about that. Like, oh, shit, what if that really did happen? But,
I mean, Nick and Aaron can see each other in person, like, and talk about each other, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Nick's the only one that's got enough restraint not to, but from what I can tell, he could talk all the shit he wanted to on his live streams about Aaron. Yeah, obviously we can't wait for that to happen whenever the court cases wrap up, but so be it. We'll have to be patient ourselves for that.
For sure.
All right. Well, thank you guys, ladies, not guys. I'm sorry, Lemmy. Thank you, ladies, for coming on the show today. Why don't you go ahead and give yourselves a shout out and tell us about anything you might have coming up here shortly.
Yeah, just go follow us on our Twitter and our YouTube. Actually, this is this week, right? Or is it next week? This week. Okay. So we're actually changing up our days a little bit on which we're going to be streaming live. So we usually do Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 11 a.m., but we're going to move it from Tuesday to actually Monday. So it'll be Monday and Wednesday at 11 a.m. on YouTube and on Rumble. So yeah, find us
Come
there.
check us out. Yep, come check us out.
Come hang out.
Hell yeah. And of course, Lemmy, she's got a very, very cool morning show. Go check her out on Rumble and Twitch also. Lemmy, give yourself a shout out.
I do a rival competing superior morning show to Rekieta-Imholte. So yeah, come check it out. It's on fucking Twitch and Rumble now. Yay.
Hell yes. All right, ladies. What did you think about our show? Did you enjoy coming on here today?
Yeah, it was lovely.
Absolutely.
I had to fight my whole life. I could beat you up even if you had 1,000 knives. Even if you had infinity knives, I would punch you up into the air like a kite. I bet you sleep with the night light, cause you're scared of the dark, cause you stink like a fart. Well, I like your fart on fire with my rhymes. You think I won't? I do it all the time. I bet I got more money than Jay-Z. Compared to me, Jay-Z is lazy. Plus Beyonce thinks that I'm cute. It's okay, Beyonce, I think you're cute too. I made out with so many girls. Made out with every girl in the world. I might look small, but I'm not. I don't care if you're big, I'll fight you. Well, I do know that I am the baddest of them all. If you ain't about money, then I don't mess with y'all. Y'all think I don't get girls, cause I ain't very tall. If she see my stats, I bet you that she calls. Cause I am the baddest of them all. If you ain't about money, then I don't mess with y'all. Y'all think I don't get girls, cause I ain't very tall. If she see my stats, I bet you that she calls.